Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Get ready. It is time for day three. Day three. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, guys. We back. Day three. Let me get the string pulled up real quick so that we can have it on. I hope you guys have had a great morning so far. I feel good this morning. I feel good. Okay, we are. All right. Lawn Crime starting at 8:45 until Lawn Crime gets on. Good morning to all of my mods. Good morning, pretty. How are you? Hey, Haley, how are you this morning? Good morning, Miss Carol. Hey, Lily. Good morning, Lexi. How are you this morning? Good morning. Hey, Brianna. Good morning. Hey, Carmen. How are you? Hey, Alicia. Good morning, Shay. Hey, T. Good morning. Good morning. She said, I weigh better than Lauren Crime. Yeah, Lauren Crime been skipping. Good morning, Gigi. Hey, Sugar. Hey, Jabria. Good morning, Ronnie. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Vitra. Good morning, Brittany. Hey, Gabrielle. Good morning, Jasmine. Hey, Monique. Hey, Kiana. Good morning, Megan. Hey, Siobhan. Good morning, India. Hey, Niara. Hey, Ebony. Good morning, Emmy. Felicia, Jazz, good morning. Good morning, Brianna. Hey, Pia. Hey, Jess, good morning. Hey, Princess. Was 8:47 now, but yeah, good morning, Campbell. Hey, Anna G. Good morning, Ashley. Ashley, I got your text, but it was 11, and I don't want to text it late, but I did get your text, girl. Good morning, Erica. Hey, Miss Virgo. Hey, Sherika. Hey, Kiara. Good morning. Hey, KK. Hey, Akeisha. How are you this morning? Good morning, Crystal. How long to mail appears? Emmy, damn. Damn, Emmy. It's always going to be one of y'all. It's always going to be one of y'all in here. Hey, Summer. Hey, Tiffany. Good morning, Kiara. Hey, Brashana. Good morning, Jess. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Crystal G. How are you guys? Good morning, Dee Dee. Hey, Monet. Good morning. It is day three. Hey, Lizzie. Good morning. Hey, T1. How are you? Hello. Hello. Hey, Stephanie. Y'all, this morning I was taking the dogs out. And y'all, this trial will make you see stuff you've never seen. I see this lady leave the apartment almost every time I'm outside. Today I noticed she drove a Ford Edge. I'm saying, that's the car Brian that way. I need to stop. This case has me seeing everything, okay? Related to the case. Hey, Nisha, and then Nisha with the lips. How are you? Hey, Marina. Good morning. Hey, Shavonna. Hey, Chatty. Good morning. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Blackbird. Hey, Rain. Hey, T. Fran. Good morning, Kia. Hey, T. Lynn. Hey, Cheryl. How are you? Hey, LL. Hello. Hey, Mika. Who think we going to pull up today? Who we think is going to pull up today on the stand? I don't even know at this point. I'm remembering people that we wanted to see. I remember y'all would be like, oh, this person is on day 20. Excuse me. Or this person is on day 10, 12. Carrie on day 2? I don't know. I don't know. Good morning, Red. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Debbie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning to all of my mods. Hey, Fatima. Hey, Bridget. All of my mods. Thank you guys so much for keeping the chat good. Y'all make sure y'all don't be out here blocking people like me. Okay? Good morning. I'm just happy that when it is somebody gets blocked, somebody else knows how to fix it. So thank you. Good morning, Tracy. How are you this morning? I think I done went through my good mornings. Hey, good morning, Factual Lie. Good morning, Nippy. Hey, Rita. Okay, hold up. They talking about Shannon on Steve Harvey Morning Show. Child, I don't have anything else to say, Shannon. Best of luck to him. I did see someone say that this isn't the first time he's been alleged to have done some type of sexual misconduct. So he may not be on first take. I don't know, but you got to think smarter. Good morning, everybody else that's joining. Good morning, kids. Hey, Valencia, how are you? Good morning, y'all. Hey, JT. Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. It is day 3. It's 140 of y'all in here right now. Go ahead and like the live. Go ahead and like the live. Hey, La Panda, go ahead and go ahead and like the live while y'all in here. Jasmine, Jasmine, not you was out here being Melanie Jr. Not you was out here being Melanie Jr. Good morning, Serena. Hey, Lisa. So I'm going to say, Shannon Sharp, I hope he learns a lesson. First of all, sir, there is no way you're almost 60 ass. Okay? Needs to be dating anyone when their age ends in teen. Okay? You might not need to be dating anyone whose age starts with 20. Okay? You're almost 60. And it's not just Shannon. I've seen people say, oh, why y'all so hard on Shannon? What about Bill Belichick? Baby, he nasty too. Bill Belichick don't come across my timeline. I heard about it. I think Bill Belichick needs some help. But he's not coming across my timeline. He's not in my community either. He's not. Shannon, and this is, I forgot what, y'all still can't remember what Shannon did that pissed me off. But he pissed me off. I think I unfollow him on everything. Something he said or did. And I if I watch Nightcap, I definitely don't watch Club Shay Shay anymore. I want to see that Damon Wayans episode, though. And if I watch Nightcap, it's because they're talking about Shador Sanders or Coach Prime. That's the only time. But other than that, no. Hey, Yates, good morning. Good morning. Give me just a moment, y'all. Let me get the stream started. Oh, and yesterday, Yates, thank you so much. We had such a great time on live last night. I think it was supposed to be an hour and a half. We were on there for like 4. Okay. Great conversation, though. Felt like the old days. Doug came up. Taylor came up. Miss J was up there. Stara. It was good. It felt like old days. It was a really good time. So if you guys missed it, I'm sure we're going to be doing it again. So let's get the stream pulled up this morning. Hold on, Lisa. Did I see what, Lisa? Yeah, it was a good time. Good morning, Robin. Ash, not that. Yates did give me an idea, guys. Moisture by Mail is coming to you soon, okay? Yates told us online. Was it Yates? Someone on the live said that people sell their bath water. I do. Pretty. I had to go to bed as soon as I got off. Didn't even watch I normally watch Beyond the Gates every day. Didn't even finish it. But she said people are selling their bath water. I don't know how you market bath water, but I'm gonna figure it out, because why are y'all out here buying bath water? What do you do with the bath water? So Moisture by Mail. Moisture by Mail is coming. It's coming, baby. I don't want y'all to buy it, Erica. I'm assuming people buy it. I would never get on this app talking about, please buy my bath water. Nicole, it was good. I was tired too. How much do you get? And I don't know what they doing, friend. I don't know. Oh, she also Yates also said something about doing, oh God, I'm so ashamed to say it. She said cooking with coochie. And I said, what? Thank you, Lo. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it, Lo. Thank you. Yates said you can even do the dance. Cooking with coochie. I don't know where she came up with that one from. But I'm gonna let her have it. She was on one last night. But kids, I've heard it, but I thought it was an expression. She said they're really out here buying bath water. They're really out here buying bath water. And when I tell you, it reminded me of what was it? Orange is the New Black, when the young ladies was running around the yard in their undies, and then they would sell them. I don't know what that is, Erica. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Good morning, Forrest. Forrest says Aerosmith. I'm back in the saddle again. Oh my God. Speaking of the weasel, we get to hear today if she's going to allow that clip, which I think it's a waste of time. Him playing these clips in between witnesses is annoying. But Forrest, who do you think is coming on today? You might even know who's coming on today. I need a part-time job. Anna, baby, you better get that tub filled up and get you some bottles. They say they paying for it. They are paying for water. They are paying for water. I mean, I've never heard of it. Y'all, they are paying for water. I mean, baby, Yates told me to go put some oil on my body and lots of lotion, then hop in the tub. I said, Lord, they not just paying for water. They want dirty water. Cause you know, or they make the water's gonna look real funky if you get the oil and lotion. Oh my God, I just can't get it. But hey, if you like it, I love it. I want some tea, Forrest. Who's coming in? Let me know. Yeah, we're gonna finish. We know we're gonna finish him. Is it soapy water or just plain? I don't know, Amy. I never heard of this before. Nisha, she said, I just got the tub. You should have put some water. You should have put some water in some bottles. Hold on, y'all. Let me help Archie. Y'all know if she doesn't have water in her bowl, she will beat the bowl. Like sometimes it's a tap, but if I don't hear her, then it gets really, really loud and aggressive. But she was letting me know she didn't have water in her bowl. How is he just playing the videos without any foundation? Mika, I don't know. India. My niece had company over, and she just will not settle when she knows that people who are not normally here are in the house. It was terrible. She had to stay in her crate all day. I was tired. She had to stay in that crate all day. Baby, she had to stay in that crate the rest of the night. When y'all saw her leave the screen, I put her in her crate. She was there all day until this morning. Because why do you act like that? She let that man hold her, rub her, everything. And as soon as he put her down, she went back to barking and screaming like in attack mode. T, she needs to get it together. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Fatima, for becoming a new member. I appreciate it. Thank you. They talking about she's a dog. She's a dog who needs to get some home training. The other dog is just fine. Thank you, Fatima. The other dog is fine. It's always Barchi. It's always Barchi. And then got the nerve to try to be a bully. The other day, she used the head and pushed the dog into the door. I mean, Barchi just, you never know with her. You never know. She just out of control. She is out of control. I didn't hear a beep. Did y'all? I got my volume on. I didn't hear a beep, guys. It's gone now. I didn't even hear it. Maybe I was over there. Why didn't I hear the beep on my end? I did not hear a beep. Baby, why can't I hear it? How can y'all hear it and I can't? Yeah, I'm a little bothered by that. Because why didn't I hear the beep? It was like a broadcasting sound. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it at all. Y'all kind of scaring me, child. My ears working. I heard Barchi on that bowl. Maybe it was the stream. Hell, I don't know. But I did not hear a beat. I did not hear it. I'm just gonna pray all good. Everything is good with these ears of mine. She said, I thought my job done cut the internet. Nikki, you thought they caught you, huh? Hey, Bev. I had to turn it happened to us, baby. Tracy said they watching us. Well, Tracy, we're no longer in Fulton, so I think we're okay. I think when it comes to the Karen Reed universe, I don't think we're on anyone's radar, so we should be good. I thought you were cussing and it's censored. It sounded like an Amber Alert. Good morning, Alice. Did I see Ash in here? Because I don't remember telling her good morning. Is Ash in here? Ash, are you in here? Good morning, Destin. How are you? Big Black Cat lives rent-free in my mind. Well, Rain, I just can't imagine myself, a Black woman, dating a man of another race and telling that man, I can't wait to put this big black cat on you. I just can't imagine that. Not sure what Shannon had going on. Forrest. Now don't come here being messy, Forrest. We friends. Don't come in here being messy. Good morning, Paula. Maybe it was Arca. It's crazy. Hey, LaShonda, how are you? I had a whole conversation with Ash. Baby, I don't remember that. That's crazy. I'm up here acting like Trooper Paul. I mean, not Trooper Paul, not all. No, I'm just saying, y'all. Did y'all see? Like, Shannon was real. I think he was race playing. My point is, y'all, I didn't want to say the other word, so I said cat. My point being is, in no world should you ever be referring to your genitals like using your race. And that was crazy. Good morning, Ronnie. Listen, Ronnie, I'm with Ronnie. Let's start the morning off right. It's 200 of us in here. Might be more of us later. Okay, I see Ash now. It might be more of us later. But please, like the live. I just really feel bad because now I want to go through the chat, Ash. I do not remember speaking to you this morning. I said a lot of names, but there are some names, the way that I say them, I remember. I'm always going to say Ash K. And I don't remember saying that. Damn, I'm going back through the live after it's over. Hey, Heather. Another one is Isis. I remember if I see Isis' name in this chat. See? Ash. All I'm saying is, I knew when I saw
2117 Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
I knew I didn't speak. Good morning, Ash K.
All right, so I was told council wanted to see me.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yes. Babe, we don't play these games, not my girls. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Jaleesa. Y'all, I must have stopped or something and didn't see y'all. See, we don't play these games. I knew someone right in my spirit. I ain't see some of y'all. Okay, good morning, everybody.
I just have one brief issue I want to raise for the court.
Okay.
I wanted to confirm whether experts in this case are permitted to watch testimony in order to prepare for rebuttal. I ask for that.
For rebuttal, like post
For
responding, okay.
in our case, for both sides.
Okay. What's your position? Ms. Little, you want to?
All
right. Mr. Brennan, is there any reason not to?
I need to give it some thought. I'm not willing to agree. I'll abide by whatever the court thinks is fair.
So why don't you think about it? We'll address it later today. But there's no expert testimony today, right?
It's not.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, sure. Is that it? Ready to bring the jury in?
That's all.
You wanted a ruling on the clip from yesterday?
I did.
All right, you can play it.
Thank you.
All right.
Wow.
So we'll take a quick break.
I see how she did that. Good morning, Sharonda and Yates. Definitely spoke to you this morning, Yates, because I immediately went into our TikTok live. Soon as I saw your name. Now, my girl Jaleesa, Sharonda, and Ash K, they got me because I don't know how I missed those names maybe I started talking about one of the comments on the screen. Don't know it. But I knew she was going to play that. I knew look how she said it and then took a break. I knew she was going to let it in. I knew she was going to let it in. Look how she said it and took. Look how she said it and you can play it and walked off. Shut. Okay, y'all, while they on break, give me just a sec. I need to make my good morning on TikTok message. I'll be right back. All right, thank you guys. The most I can get out in the morning on TikTok is a good morning message. That's the most I can get out. Good morning, BG. Hold on, Lisa. Let me see what you said. Oh, I hadn't seen that, Lisa. I have not seen that. Good morning, Kaylin. I think I just saw Kaylin's picture.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable Beverly Canoni, the Justice of the Superior Court, now holding in Dedham within and for the County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is in session. Please be seated. 22-117, the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
All right. Good morning again, counsel. Good morning, Ms. Reed. Good morning, jurors. I have to ask you those same three questions. Were you all able to follow the instructions and refrain from discussing this case with anyone since we were here yesterday? Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Were you also able to follow the instructions and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation?
Hold on, behind. I can skip this. There we go. They have just pissed me off, y'all. We just started.
Sir, I'll remind you, you're still under oath. Thank you.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Mr. Whitley, yesterday you testified that when Karen Reed was brought to the hospital, she didn't want to get into a hospital Johnny and she didn't want to give a urine sample. Do you recall that testimony?
I do.
It was clear to you that her reluctance to cooperate at that time was because she very much wanted to check on John's progress and status at the hospital, correct?
No, I don't believe that to be the case.
Well, you testified before the grand jury regarding this matter 3 years ago, didn't you?
Hey, Phil.
I don't believe I said that she was
I
reluctant.
didn't ask you that question.
Right.
You testified before the grand jury 3 years ago, didn't you?
I testified before the grand jury 3 years ago.
You were under oath then, as you're under oath today, correct?
Correct.
You swore to tell the truth.
I am telling the truth.
You swore to tell the truth in 2022 before the grand jury, did you not?
Right.
I did.
That was less than 3 months after you brought Karen Reed to the hospital, didn't you?
Yeah.
And your memory of what happened at the hospital was very good in April of 2022, right?
As good as today.
Your
No.
memory in April of 2022 was very good, wasn't it?
It was very good as it is today.
That's not.
Okay, so you want to add the as it is today, despite the fact that you weren't asked that question. Is that right?
Objection.
Sustained.
All right.
No, he needs to
When
get.
questioned by Mr. Lally at the grand jury, you were asked the following question. So what, if any, interaction did you have with her, meaning Ms. Reed, at the hospital once you were there? You remember that question, right?
I do.
And your answer was, so we, after that, I helped escort her down to, they call it the psych hallway, where they have rooms set up for psychiatric patients for their evaluation. And then she was unhappy that she wasn't able to see him, meaning John. And she kept trying to. She didn't want to get into a hospital Johnny. She didn't want to, I believe, give a urine sample. She was not, the nurses were asking her to do certain things that every patient has to do, and she was not cooperating with them. Do you remember that answer?
I do.
So 3 years ago, when you testified about this issue of giving a urine sample, you testified under oath that you believed that she didn't want to give a urine sample, correct?
Correct.
Yesterday, 3 years later,
Mhm.
you testified with certainty that she didn't want to give them, right?
Yeah, she was giving them a hard time about having to give a urine sample.
Right. No, I'm asking you about your testimony yesterday in contrast to the grand jury, sir.
Let's
To the extent that I ask yes or no question, I'd like yes or no answers.
So
okay?
no instructions to the witness, Ms.
You
Giannetti.
only
Ask a
need to be
question.
instructed to answer the question yes or no if it calls for a yes or no question. Answer.
Answer the question that's asked of you, okay?
Y'all see, this shit pisses me off with Bev because Colonel Sanders would have told him yes or no. Bev refuses to do that because she wants to let the extra shit in.
Okay.
So go ahead, ask a question.
I'm pissed.
You testified yesterday that she didn't want to give a urine sample without saying it was your belief that she didn't want to give one, correct?
Correct.
In any case, were you aware that when she was asked to give a urine sample, that Ms. Reed had gotten her period and did not have a tampon?
Oh,
I was aware she was on her period. Yes.
You're also aware that when somebody is brought to the hospital for a Section 12, they have no privacy. Isn't that right?
They have medical privacy. Either the tech or the nurse would be with the patient at all times.
Okay. With them at all times, observing them at
Observing
all
them,
times,
correct.
correct?
So they wouldn't be, she wasn't in like a hallway open to the public.
Understood, sir. But she also, when I said privacy, what I was asking is, she was not allowed to go to the bathroom alone to give a urine sample, correct?
She was a psychiatric patient.
Right. So she would have to use the bathroom in front of hospital personnel or some medical personnel with people watching her while she was on her period with no tampon, correct?
I would understand that to be true.
All right. And you're aware that she did cooperate and eventually give a blood sample as well, correct?
I'm not aware of a blood sample, but urine sample, yes.
She did give the urine sample.
Correct.
Now, in your testimony yesterday, you discussed the topic of your memory of what Karen Reed may have asked you about John surviving in the snow with light clothing. You remember those questions?
I remember asking about not having a jacket, correct?
Now, starting at the end of the day, when I cross-examined you yesterday, I asked you about that topic, and I said to you, you mentioned something about hypothermia, that you assumed you may have been dealing with a hypothermia situation. And your answer was, well, she said that he had been out in the snow without a jacket for many hours, correct?
Correct.
But before I cross-examined you at the end of the day yesterday, you previously testified 3 times about this topic, correct?
I believe it would be the grand jury and the previous trial.
Right, and direct examination when Mr. Brennan was asking you questions before I stood up, correct?
Okay, yes.
Let's start with the first time you testified about this topic back in 2022. That was, again, less than 3 months after you had a conversation with Ms. Reed at the scene on January 29th, correct?
Correct.
Her statements and questions to you at the scene were fresh in your mind in April of 2022, correct?
Correct.
In April of 2022, before the grand jury, Mr. Lally asked you, quote, what if any questions did she ask you regarding hypothermia? Do you remember that question?
I do.
Your answer was, she was just wondering if he could have survived outside in the cold even though he didn't have a jacket on. Do you remember giving that answer?
I do.
Nowhere in that answer in 2022, less than 3 months after these events, do you attribute the words, quote, many hours, end quote, in the snow to Ms. Reed, correct?
Yes, I was not.
I'm not asking for an explanation, sir. I'm asking for an answer.
All right, so he was answering you,
No,
Mr.
My
Unity.
question called for a yes or no answer.
If-
Nowhere in your answer in 2022 do you attribute the words many hours in the snow to Ms. Reed, yes or no?
Yes,
No, I did
okay.
not say that at that point.
Nowhere in your answer in 2022 do you testify that Ms. Reed told you he had actually been in the snow for many hours, correct?
She did. At that-
Sir, I'm asking you about your testimony.
I object.
So let him answer the question.
Let me ask it again. Nowhere in your answer in 2022 did you testify that Ms. Reed told you he had actually been in the snow for many hours, correct?
In 2022, I testified that I was just told to be brief
Like this.
and give generalizations. She quantified many hours in the snow when we were in back of the
Let me
ambulance.
try this again, sir.
So,
because
Ms.
I-
Giannetti, you're just saying 2022. Get to a
Of
date
course,
and a
yes.
place.
April of 2022, okay, before the grand jury. My question again, and I'm still seeking a yes or no answer from you.
Look at it.
Okay.
But nervous.
Nowhere in your answer in April of 2022, before the grand jury, did you testify under oath that Ms. Reed told you that John had actually been in the snow for many hours, correct?
Not in 2022 of April, no.
Okay. The next time you testified under oath was last year in 2024, correct?
Correct.
During that testimony, Mr. Lally asked you, oh, by the way, so 2022 is no mention of many hours, right?
I did not, and I was told to be brief on the grand jury.
Oh,
But again-
God.
No mention of
Right.
many hours in 2022. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get
2024, last year, Mr. Lally asked you, so firefighter Whitley, at some point, specific to your conversations with the defendant, Ms. Reed, can you describe sort of her demeanor or any observations you made in relation to that as you were speaking with her? And your answer was, yes, she was very upset.
Yes.
She kept asking if there was any chance. She kept asking us if we knew if the person ambulance 1 had transported was alive or dead, and we could not speak to that. She asked if somebody could be alive in the snow without a jacket for many hours, correct?
Correct.
So 2022, there was no mention of many hours. 2024, over time, now that's the first time that you mention the words many hours in your testimony regarding this case, correct?
Correct.
Right?
Mhm.
And when you testified last year, you testified still that she was asking you a question about surviving in the snow, correct?
Correct.
So then we come to yesterday on direct examination.
What do you do, you netty?
Do you recall that Mr. Brennan yesterday asked you, before you left, were you having any conversations with the defendant? And you answered yes. Recall that yesterday?
Is that at the hospital?
I'm asking you yesterday, do you recall Mr. Brennan asking you before you left essentially the scene, were you having any conversations with the defendant? And your answer was yes.
You're talking about Lee, I'm just trying to make sure we're talking about the same instance. Are we talking about when we left the hospital or when we left Fairview Road?
When you were at Fairview Road, leaving Fairview Road, we're talking about the same subject of what Ms. Reed supposedly told you or asked you. Okay, Mr. Brennan went into that with you.
So on the way to, you're talking on the way to the hospital in terms of left, when we left.
Well, before you left, he meant before you left the scene.
Okay,
When
no,
you
I'm
were-
just trying to clarify.
Again, it's the same conversation, Mr. Whitley. I'm not
So,
trying to trick you.
Mr. Yannetti, he just asked for a point of reference. It's clear. Now go.
Understood. And Mr. Brennan said, can you share with the jury what those conversations were about? And your answer was, so we were talking, she was upset. She kept asking if there was any chance her husband could be alive, even sitting outside in the snow without any coat for many hours. Do you recall that answer that you gave yesterday on direct examination?
Yes.
And that was the first time that you mentioned that she said, supposedly, or asked supposedly, about him sitting outside in the snow, correct?
I was just using phrases generally speaking.
Not my question.
I wasn't at that point I was paraphrasing. I was not speaking verbatim to what she said.
Let's try that again. That was the first time that you mentioned that he claimed or asked that he was sitting outside, correct?
It could have been sitting, laying, being.
Let's try it a third time.
So
Was that-
just ask the question, not let's try it.
Sure.
Let's try it.
Was that the first time that you testified under oath that Ms. Reed said or asked about him sitting outside?
Are you asking me to clarify whether she used the
I'm not
word
asking you
sitting?
to clarify anything. I'm asking you whether that was the first time yesterday during direct examination that you mentioned that she asked about him sitting outside.
I'm sorry. I am very confused because I'm trying to figure out if he was being outside, sitting outside.
I'm asking you about Ms. Reed's statements, sir. That's all I've been asking you about. Her
Okay.
statements to you and your testimony about her statements to you. Was yesterday on direct examination the first time that you testified under oath that Ms. Reed mentioned the words sitting outside?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm just using. She might have said laying outside, being outside, outside.
Okay, so when you testified yesterday before this jury
Yes.
that she mentioned the words sitting outside, you're now saying that that might not have been accurate, correct?
It could have been a different word.
Okay, but you didn't say it could have been a different word yesterday. You just left it as sitting outside, correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I said. Sitting.
All right, so now we get from, the grand jury with many hours mentioned to questions about many hours to sitting outside to let's talk about what you said on cross-examination.
I object.
Okay, the objection sustained.
Sure. On cross-examination, your words were, she said he had been out in the snow without a jacket on for many hours, correct?
She had asked if he had been outside, if there was any chance he could be alive, even though he was outside without a jacket for many hours.
So it always was a question, correct?
It was a question.
She never said what you said on cross-examination yesterday, which was she said that he had been out in the snow without a jacket on for many hours. That was not a declarative statement by Ms. Reed, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow that. Was that a declarative statement by Ms. Reed?
She asked if he could be alive without a jacket in the snow for many hours.
So it was a question, sir.
She asked me, and we were just trying to give her hope in terms of telling stories of hypothermic patients that could survive outside in the snow.
Okay, is there
Ooh,
any?
that was so good. Ooh, I believe it's right there. Baby, he's so bothered. Look at him, baby. He's so bothered.
When you were
Oh, he's so bothered.
called to the grand jury, was the testimony as in-depth and as long as it is in front of this jury?
No, not even close.
When you're recounting
One
your
word.
memories of what happened, do you memorize word for word what you've said in the past?
Objection.
As to that form, it's sustained.
When you're recounting the past, do you record your statements personally?
Objection.
I'm going to let that one. Do you
See?
record your statement?
Ooh,
Next question.
I'm so sick of Bill.
When you testified in the grand jury, page 90, line 15,
What if cat?
and you said the defendant told you, "I'm upset if he dies, I want to die." And then you later testify last year, and you said, "If my husband dies, I want to die." Do you notice the little differences between those phrases?
I do.
Is that you making up words?
No,
Is
Yeah.
that you trying to help a case?
Objection.
As to form, that's sustained.
Are you inventing facts?
Yes.
no,
Sir, when you were recounting what happened that day, are you using your best memory?
No.
Objection.
When you were asked by the defendant about how long, or someone out in the snow without a jacket for many hours, do you remember that conversation with her?
I do.
Where were you during that conversation?
We were in the back of the ambulance.
Do you remember it distinctly?
I remember it distinctly. She was looking at me.
When you tried to give her hope and comfort, and you told her stories about other situations where people, maybe children, have fallen through the ice and had hypothermia, did you have that conversation with her in trying to comfort her?
I did.
Do you remember that conversation?
I do.
Did you necessarily share those conversations with the grand jury?
I don't recall if I did or I didn't.
Did you ever write that in your report?
No,
Is it something you typically put everything in your report?
no, we do not write. Generally, we only write patient complaint, what happened, what they did, not their opinions or anything like that of what's going on.
Do you have any interest in the outcome of this case?
I do
Yep.
How long have
Yes,
you been a
you do.
firefighter for?
not. Since March of 2006, and an EMT since November of 2002.
Over 20 years.
Correct.
You said that you live near Kerry Roberts?
I do.
You've been to a block party for the kids where you've brought the fire engine down?
I do.
I'm going to allow it.
When you're at that block party, do you ever step out and have secret meetings with Kerry Roberts trying to corroborate some conspiracy on their behalf?
No. No.
Put your career on the line?
Objection.
Sustained.
No further questions.
Any follow-up, Mr. Yannetti?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Firefighter Whitley, you are all set. sir.
Let him go.
Like to play clip 5, Your Honor?
Here you go, y'all. How did they get to do this? This is crazy.
And his mother leans over the kitchen island and says to me, "I think it looks like he got hit by a car. It looks like he got hit by a car."
And what does that do? Except
All right,
put his
who's your
mouth
next
on that
witness, Mr.
bullshit the
Brennan?
first day.
Next witness is Gene DeMoulis.
He gonna keep the clips up. Hey, Junior. Hey, Lauren. Lauren, I'm tired of it. I am sick of it, okay?
Okay,
I'm sorry. That clip didn't do anything for me, for Peggy, besides let me know. Hold up, y'all. Let me know that someone had put that in Peggy's head the very day that the man was brought to the hospital. Doesn't do anything for me. BBB, Triple B, Big Bang Bev. sassy, but I just have never heard. I didn't know they could just give intermissions like this. Now, y'all, while we on break, I see it's over 300 of us. I know those likes better be right. Mel was killing that dance on TikTok. What dance, Junior? I know the likes gotta be right, y'all. It's 300. Looks like 300. I don't know if Twitch is included in here, but it's over 300 of us. Jaleesa, because is it time to go get my popcorn every time he get ready to play a clip? Go ahead, go to the restroom. Only 292 likes. Okay, well, good. We almost at 300. Come on, y'all. In the yellow dress? I had on the yellow dress. I have to find that one, y'all. I don't even remember. I just be doing foolish stuff. Thank you, Forrest.
Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat, Whitney. Thank you.
Sue Thomas was the evidence given to the court and jury in the case will guarantee the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. You can scooch in close to the microphone, thanks.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Jean Demulis. I am the general manager at CF McCarthy's in Canton.
I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up if you would, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
You said you're the general manager at CF McCarthy's?
In Canton, yes.
Thank you. How long have you been the general manager at CF McCarthy's in Canton for?
For 6 years.
Can you briefly describe for the jury what CF McCarthy's is?
It is a restaurant and bar.
At CF McCarthy's, is there a video surveillance system inside?
Yes.
Who owns that video surveillance system?
CF McCarthy's.
Are you familiar with the video system?
Yes.
Have you ever looked at it before?
Yes.
Do you employ people to help the establishment with the video system?
No.
You maintain it on your own?
Yes.
At some point, were you visited by somebody from the Massachusetts State Police?
Yes.
Were you asked whether or not they could view some of your video surveillance?
Yes.
Do you remember the date? Not the date they came to visit you, the date that they were looking for.
I don't know what's going on.
I believe it was January 28th, 27th, 28th of 2022.
Around that time?
Yes.
Did you allow access to the video system?
Yes.
Did you oversee that access to the video system?
Yes.
Was it a state police officer?
It was two state police detectives.
Do you remember their names?
I remember one of the detectives' names. I do not remember the other detective.
The one you remember, could you share the name?
It was Detective Buchnick, Yuri.
Detective Yuri Buchnick.
Yes.
At some point, was he allowed to download information from the surveillance system?
Yes.
Did you watch him do that?
Yes, I did.
At some point, have you been able to briefly look at some of that download?
Yes.
And does it appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the surveillance or the area of your bar?
Yes.
Move to introduce.
Okay, there's no objection, Ms. Giannetti.
There is no objection, Your Honor.
She's just gonna say she saw them at the bar and we'll see that video. That's the only thing I can see.
Your Honor, may I play just a small portion?
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh no, Eric, I think we're good.
Ma'am, I'm going to show you just some random shots from this video, but I want to know if you recognize it. Is this the inside of CF McCarthy's?
Yes.
I'm not asking if you have any particular knowledge or information about that night. I just want to know is this a fair and accurate depiction of what CF McCarthy's looks like?
Yes.
Has there been any substantive,
No.
significant changes to the inside of that establishment
No.
since this video was taken?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Gilman. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Okay.
I have no questions.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yep, Erica.
No, seconds.
But I thought we were at, I thought y'all said 292. I thought they were gonna play the.
Your next witness, Mr. Brennan.
Thank you. Bridget Meehan.
Now, what is he doing? Yep. Yep, Glenn.
Good morning. Good morning.
You solemnly swear the evidence you give the court and jury in the case now and here to the truth, the whole truth.
Yuri has to be testifying. Yeah, Proctor already died.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Authenticated the.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
My name's Bridget Meehan.
Where do you work?
I work at the Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton.
The name maybe tells us a little bit about it, but could you just share a couple lines of what the Waterfall Bar and Grill is?
It's a small family-owned business in Canton. It's in a mixed condo complex.
Are you involved in the ownership of it?
Yes.
How long have you been involved with the Waterfall Bar and Grill?
We've been there approximately 10 years.
Do you help run the establishment?
Yes, I do.
And you were running the establishment back on January 28, 2022? At some point, were you asked or visited to see if your establishment had video surveillance of the inside?
I was.
Does your establishment have video surveillance of the inside?
It does.
Do you have a camera and a server?
Do I have? Yes, I do.
Did you provide video surveillance to the Massachusetts State Police from that night, January 28, 2022?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'd like to move this in as an exhibit, please.
Okay. Ms. Giannetti?
No objection.
With the court's permission?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wild as hell.
Ma'am, I'm going to show you just a brief clip.
I'm sick of it.
Okay, stop, please. Do you see that video?
I do.
Does that depict the inside of McCarthy's?
No.
I'm sorry, the Waterfall?
Yes.
I'm trying to switch establishments on you. Back on January 28, 2022, does that look the way it looked then?
Yes.
Has there been any significant changes inside since then?
No.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay.
No questions.
All right, Ms. Meehan, you.
Thank you.
All right, your next witness, Mr. Brennan.
Commonwealth calls Mike Camerano.
Okay, guys. Remember, he went to the bar with them. All right, maybe now we get at least to the bar, guys. Yep.
You solemnly swear the evidence you give the court and jury in the case now and here to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Good morning.
She said wrong. I'm like, I thought he was pretty okay. I mean, is this the guy
May I?
I'm thinking
Please.
about?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This
Could you
is
please introduce yourself to the jury?
Hi, good morning. My name is Michael Camerano.
Mr. Camerano, can I ask how old you are? I'm sorry.
Spell your last name.
Camerano.
I know this right.
And so if you could either move the microphone down a little bit or speak up, or maybe a combination of both, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Could I ask you how old you are?
48,
Where do you live?
Canton, Mass.
How long have you lived in Canton for?
Me and my wife have lived there for 20 years. Me and my wife have lived there for 20 years. We have 2 children.
How old are your children, sir?
My daughter is 17. My son is 14.
He don't want to be.
Did you know John O'Keefe?
Yes.
He does not
How
want
did you know him?
I met John for the first time at his sister's they had a benefit for his sister in 2000, I think 13. I met John there for the first time. Then years later, our kids got involved with sports together and they became very close. As they became close, I became very close with John and his family.
Was your daughter close with John's niece?
Yes.
Was your son close with?
Yes.
Did you spend a lot of time together through sports and socially?
Yes, we did.
I want to take you forward to January 28th of 2022.
Okay.
Do you remember that day?
Yes.
Had you, without any discussion of what might have been said, did you have any discussions with John that day?
Yes.
Did you have a plan?
Yes, we were communicating.
At some point, did you decide that you were going to spend some time or go meet John?
Yes. That Friday, my daughter and his daughter, they got acceptance letters to school.
Oh, God.
So we wanted to get them together so they could enjoy the time together. And, just, go over like how it'll be so much fun, something new, different.
I don't remember him being like this last time.
Yeah, so we were going to meet up after I got out of work.
Was your daughter planning to go to a new school?
Yes.
Where?
Bishop Fan,
And how about his niece?
same.
They both got accepted to
They
the
both
same
got
school?
accepted to the same school.
Was it a celebratory mood?
Yes.
Did you have a plan to bring the children together so they could celebrate?
Yes, we did.
And then separately, you were going to meet John and celebrate?
Correct.
Where did you drop your daughter off?
I dropped my daughter off at John. I went into John's. I was at the house with John and the girls, and we had a little celebration. Talked about how nice it's going to be, fun, change, different, meet new people.
And you celebrated at John's house before you went out?
Correct.
After the celebration with your children, did you and John leave?
Yes.
During that celebration, was there anybody there other than you, John, and your two daughters?
No. No. Karen was not there.
Was there anybody else there?
No, just the two girls, myself and John.
What was the weather like that night?
It was cold. It was not snowing yet.
Was there an expectation? For
Yes,
the
there was an
next morning?
expectation. Yes,
What was that?
that there was going to be a big snowstorm coming in.
A storm was coming.
Yes.
When you left, did you leave in a separate car than John, or did you leave together?
No, we left together. John got in my car and we were leaving. We're going to leave.
Where were the girls?
The girls are in the house, stayed in the house.
They were staying at John's house?
Yes, correct.
Where did you go?
We went to CF McCarthy's.
When you got there, did you know anybody who was there other than you and John?
At that time, no.
Did you spend time at CF McCarthy's?
Yes.
Were you drinking?
Yes.
Was John drinking?
Yes.
Alcohol?
Yes.
How long were you there for?
A couple hours.
While you were there, did anybody come and meet you that you knew?
Yes.
Who?
A friend. And then Karen came in.
The friend?
Yes.
What was the friend's name?
Kurt.
And then how long after you first got there was it that the defendant arrived?
I would like to say within an hour, so not 100% sure.
You said back home it was a celebratory mood. Was it still a celebratory mood at McCarthy's?
Yes.
When the defendant arrived, did she spend time with you and John?
I've talked briefly to her, and her and John were mostly talking.
You didn't see any issues?
No.
It was a normal night,
Seemed to be, yes.
as far as you could see.
Yes.
And you saw John drinking.
Yes.
Did you see the defendant drinking?
I saw her with a glass, yes.
Did you leave at the same time that John left?
No, I did not.
When you left, was John still at the establishment?
Yes.
When you left, was the defendant still with him?
Yes.
Why did you leave?
I left because I got a phone call. My son was playing hockey in the backyard, and he got hit with a stick and lost his tooth.
Dang.
Where did you go?
I went to my son's friend's house.
Do you know about what time that was when you went to see your son?
I would like to say 9:30, in between 9:30 and 10.
You didn't go back to McCarthy's that night, did you?
No, I did not.
After you helped your son, where did you go next?
Yeah.
I went to pick up my daughter Madeline
Did you go?
at John's house.
Did you go in John's house?
No, I did not.
When you got to John's house, did your daughter come out?
No. We went to the side door
Okay.
and rang the doorbell.
And then what happened?
And then my daughter came to the door.
Where'd you go?
From there, we left and went home.
When you went home, had the weather changed at all?
It was cool. It might have been flurrying at that time.
No accumulation?
No.
You got home?
Yes.
Did you do anything significant when you got home?
Put the kids to bed, my son, and no, I went to bed.
What's the next thing you remember happening?
Waking up to, I missed some phone calls
Who were the missed phone calls from?
from my wife and Karen.
What did you do?
I called my wife.
After speaking to your wife, what did you do?
I got in my car and drove to John's house.
About what time was this?
In between maybe 5 and 6 a.m.
What was your mood at that point?
I was panicked
Why did you go to John's house?
because I went to get Kaylee.
Did you know if she was alone?
Yes,
How long did it take you to get to John's house?
maybe 5-7 minutes.
When you get to John's house, what do you see?
I pull in the driveway. I see that the garage door is open. I go in through the garage door. I don't know if Kaylee was standing there, if the door, she came out the door, and I asked her, if she needed anything, she could get in my car and stay warm.
When you first saw Kaylee, what did she look like?
Oh, God.
She looked distraught.
Did you try to help her?
Well, I think I just said everything will be okay.
Only emotion we've seen.
Did she come with you?
Yes,
Where are you going?
to my house.
So what happens?
So we go to my house, and my daughter's up, and the two girls they were hanging downstairs, just hanging out, just being kids. And then, I don't know, a couple hours later, maybe, Paul called me and asked me to bring Kaylee home.
Did you know anything at that point?
I did, yes.
You did or didn't?
At that point, I did when Paul had told me.
So what do you do?
Asked Madeline and Kaylee if I'd say, Madeline, we come for the ride. I don't say anything to Kaylee, and we get in the car, and I start heading back to John's house.
And you didn't say anything to Kaylee?
No, I didn't. I just said everything will be all right. She had a feeling.
Why do you say that?
She didn't want to go home.
So what happens next?
Happy about it.
So I pull in the driveway, and I remember Paul and Papa standing. I think they were standing at the side door, and we just embraced.
Did you stay?
No, not long. No,
Did you go back?
I was to the house. I went back to my house.
Did you go back to John's house?
I did the next day. Yes, I was there.
When you went back, were there people there?
Yes,
Many?
there was people coming and going.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
They probably don't. I don't think they have to.
Good morning, Mr. Camerano.
Good morning.
This is quite painful for you to remember the events of January 28th, is it not?
Yes,
You were very close with your friend John O'Keefe, correct?
I was close with them, yes.
And you actually met Karen Reed through John, correct?
Correct.
After meeting Karen, you spent a good amount of time with both Karen and John, correct?
Correct.
As of January 28th of 2022, you had known Karen for maybe about a year or so,
Sounds correct.
and you'd see them especially on Fridays, correct?
Correct.
That would be sort of the day that you get together with both of them often.
Yes.
And of course, your children spent a lot of time with John and Karen, right?
Correct.
You entrusted both Karen and John with your kids.
Yes.
Sometimes your kids would even go on vacation with Karen and John, right?
They did go to the Cape, yes.
Sometimes you'd see Karen without John at your house or on a ball field.
Correct.
And your daughter in particular would sometimes spend time with just Karen without John, correct?
Correct.
Your daughter would sometimes go over to Karen's house in Mansfield when she lived there, correct?
Correct.
And obviously, when your daughter would go to Karen's house in Mansfield, Karen would be the one in charge of caring for her, correct?
Correct.
And you were fine with that because you liked and you trusted Karen, right?
Correct.
And
Period.
in your view, Karen was very good with kids, right?
Correct.
But you also had the opportunity to see Karen and John together, right?
Yes.
You saw how they interacted with each other over that year period that you knew Karen.
Yes.
You saw how they got along.
Yes.
And you never observed any arguments or bickering, correct?
I mean, they argued and bickered.
You had previously testified that you wouldn't even call it arguing, you just call it banter, right?
Yes. I mean, he would, I mean, no, he would get upset or like over if she bought expensive things for the kids.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. We will get to that. That would be the one thing that John would complain about, Karen buying like very nice things for his niece and nephew, right?
Correct.
Or he'd complain if, Karen was taking his niece and other girls to get their nails done, like extravagances like that.
Correct.
And one specific memory you have is when Karen bought his niece a very expensive sweater, right?
Correct.
And you recall John telling you that he wished that she hadn't done that because he considered that to be spoiling the girl, correct?
Yes.
But it was very clear to you from your observations that Karen really, really liked John. I'm sorry, John really, really liked Karen, right?
Sustained.
He certainly never told you or even suggested he was thinking about or planning to break up with Karen, right?
No.
Okay, so with regard to that Friday night, January 28th, sir, the plan was for you and John to go to McCarthy's to have some drinks because there was a storm coming in, correct? And because of the celebration of the girls getting into Bishop Fen?
Well, yeah, we were going out. It wasn't a continuation of the celebration of the girls. We were going out to have a few beers as guys.
Okay. And when you were leaving the house, John asked you to move your car, right?
Correct.
Where was your car when John asked you to move it that night?
Actually, I backed up my car. We were leaving the driveway, and John asked me to stop so he could move his car.
I see. And he wanted you to move your car because of the storm coming in, and you wanted Karen to be able to pull her car into the garage, right?
Correct.
And that was really thoughtful of him, wasn't it?
Yes, extremely.
And it showed you that he was being chivalrous toward Karen that night, right?
Yes.
He didn't want Karen to be out in the heavy snow later when she returned to his house during the expected blizzard, right?
Sister.
Like Carrie and Jen's husbands.
You took from that there was an expectation that Karen would be coming back to his house, correct?
Objection.
Sister.
You had no inkling that day that anything was wrong between Karen and John, correct?
No,
Everything seemed fine between the two of them, right?
yes, he did mention though that night that he didn't understand why Karen had a plumber go to the house.
Because he had somebody that could have done that work instead of paying for the plumber, right?
Well, yes.
Okay.
And
But in any case, the plan was for Karen to meet up with the two of you, right?
yes,
And she did show up to McCarthy's at about 8:30 p.m. or so.
yes, I guess if
And-
that's the time.
And you saw an affection.
I'm sorry, what was the answer that you
If
said?
that was the time, I'm not sure about the timeline.
Okay. It was sometime after you'd
Yes.
gotten there. Right.
Correct.
But you do remember when Karen arrived, there was an affectionate greeting between John and Karen, right?
Yes,
You saw them kiss, right?
yes,
You saw John put his arm around Karen,
correct,
and you saw that Karen sort of nestled into his embrace.
correct.
And when she did that, that's when he kissed her, correct?
Yes,
And they seemed happy to see each other, did they not?
they did.
That night they were affectionate,
Yes,
laughing,
yes,
happy,
yes,
like a normal couple.
yes.
No arguments.
No,
You witnessed no bickering, no tension, correct?
no,
And during the month before John's passing, that January of 2022, you observed their relationship in your presence to be normal, caring, and affectionate, right?
yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
You were asked a number of questions about the relationship between John and Karen that night. Do you know what was going on behind closed doors other than what you saw?
I'll allow it.
No,
Do you know whether or not they texted each other that day?
no, that day, no.
Do you know whether or not there was any arguments that day?
You go, Hank.
I'll allow it.
Not to my, no, I don't know if they were, well,
Here he go.
I don't know
Why?
if they were arguing over the plumber situation. I
Do you
don't
know
know.
if there's any vulgarities that day?
What?
No,
Do you know if there's any vulgarities that night?
no, not to my knowledge.
Do you know whether or not John was trying to end the relationship with Miss Reed?
Do you know that, sir?
No,
Next question.
Do you know if there was any jealousy in that relationship?
I'll allow it.
I mean, I mean, Karen wouldn't let, I mean, they did everything together, a lot of things together. And I thought at times, yeah, you could see, she didn't want other women around John.
Well, that's
I don't
normal.
know, not at that, but
Thank you.
Yes, Lisa.
You follow up?
She did.
All right, Mr. Camerano, you're all set, sir. I'll see counsel at sidebar for just a minute, please.
Okay. How y'all feeling? How are you guys feeling about Mike? I felt Mike was a great witness. He seemed more uncomfortable and emotional this go around than he did last time. He did, Junior. It's the motive, their motive is that she was jealous and angry. Mike seemed really sincere. And from him, they were a normal couple. This whole she hit him out of rage and she was this jealous rage, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They were a normal couple. But now I do feel like she let John play with her too much. But I mean, maybe she's in her 40s and feel like it might be hard to date. I don't know. She let John play with her too much. She shouldn't have let John play with her that much. Me either, Yates. I enjoy him as a witness, and I do feel like he's one of the only. I don't know. I feel like he really loved John, as opposed to seeing people like Carrie get on the stand who will twist the truth when it should be about your friend. Jen, who showed no emotion. No. Well, Forrest, you might as well get ready, friend, because he's going to play another clip. Okay? We're going to get these clips every. I don't know how they're doing it. I think that is the ex. I remember that hair. It looks like a bad weave. I think that's the ex. I think that's the ex-girlfriend. And Peggy's not there today. Maybe yesterday was a bit much for her. That girlfriend, that's kind of weird, man. It is. It's kind of weird. Nikki says him being upset about the plumber fixed her sink instead of him shows that he cared and he wasn't ending it. Not only that, I thought it was a great, I liked how they talked about him moving the car so that she can go in the driveway as opposed to him. I like that. Move your car, my girl coming. He cared about her. I just hate all of this happening, y'all. And I'm gonna say it every day. I hate that man is not here because it does not seem like his life should have ended that night. That his life should not have ended that night. He should not have died alone. That is, I think, if you're gonna go, but to go alone. His interlude is crazy. That's Mike Camerano. And remember, his daughter, well, I know you heard testimony. His daughter and John's niece, they were friends. They both got into that school together. And I've seen people say she didn't even go to the school. I don't see Aaron either. I haven't seen Aaron in 2 days. So I don't know what's going on there. Well, Forrest, there's a Law and Order episode about a woman who dated a man in the 70s. He was this really famous. His name was, y'all probably seen this episode. It was an SVU episode. Anyways, 40 years later, she had a shrine of this man in her home. Oh, okay.
May I?
Please.
I'm going to recall Nick Garino.
Okay.
Well, now doing okay. Well, you know he couldn't call Nene. He was probably thinking it. All right, y'all. Garino's back. We're going to go through some text messages. Yep, we're doing text messages and phone calls, T-Fran. Smart girl. Text messages and phone calls. Hey, Lauren, I said the same thing when I saw that person. We got text messages today.
Comment, please.
Is he limping? I think I saw y'all say he was limping yesterday. Lynn, Jen's gonna be damn near in the middle.
I'll remind you, you're still in your.
Or stand, however you're most comfortable today. Just do whatever you need to do, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone.
Sir, yesterday we talked about downloading phones and making what you called extractions.
Yes.
And from that data, you could create different types of reports.
So have Detective Garino say his name again, please.
I'm sorry. Again, for the record, could you introduce yourself to the jury and spell your last name for the record?
Yeah. Good morning. My name is Nicholas Garino, Guarino.
Thank you.
Sir, you mentioned yesterday that you downloaded a number of phones, or you were involved in the process of downloading a number of phones.
That's correct.
You explained to us that after you have the data analyzed, you can pinpoint certain items that you may want to put in a document.
Yes, so the extractions into a program of our choosing, Cellbrite is the most commonly used, and then we can take call logs or text messages, any information that the investigator is looking for.
When you downloaded Mr. O'Keefe's phone and you downloaded the defendant's phone, did you try to create, or did you create a report through Cellbrite, the software, that would show you all of Mr. O'Keefe's call logs?
Yes, I did.
And when I use the term call logs, what does that mean?
The call logs are the calls that the phone receives.
How do you create a report from Cellbrite? Can you just walk us through that process briefly?
Yep, so in the program, you can go in and select the calls from it and export it into different formats, PDF, XML, HTML, or you can create a portable case and extract them all as a portable case that we would see on my computer.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Then on me. Thank you, fam. Thank you for the membership. Y'all know the drill. If you get a membership for my girl, make sure you say thank you.
Showing you a document.
Chat, please.
Mr. O'Keefe's call logs. Do you recognize that?
Yes,
And what is it?
it is the call logs. Just want to make sure it's between John O'Keefe and the defendant from, just want to see the dates, the 28th, January 28th, 2022 to January 29th, 2022.
Would this contain all the phone calls from his phone data, the calls between those two parties that night?
Yes, that's what I created.
Thank you. I'd like to move this as an exhibit, please.
If I could, Your Honor, just want to compare, make sure we got the same.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Green.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay.
Okay.
No objection.
To the yellow heart. Ronnie, they kind of like the live. What's going on? Weasel is Hank, baby. The weasel is Hank.
You captured all of the phone calls between two parties on that last document. Can you also do that with chats?
Yes, that is true.
And did you do that in this case?
Yes, I did.
I know, Say. So we have so many things going over here.
Did you create a document of chats between the phones of the defendant and Mr. O'Keefe for after midnight for the evening hours of January 29, 2002?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
I'm good.
You recognize that document, sir?
Yes, I do.
And can you tell us what that is?
These are the texts from the defendant to John O'Keefe.
Y'all watch that be some crazy shit.
For January 29, 2022?
Yes, that's correct. So I'm sorry.
Thank you. I move this as an exhibit, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Exhibit 24.
Did you identify or specify chat messages between John O'Keefe and a person named Jen McCabe?
Yes, I did.
Did you create a Cellbrite report?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder if we don't have a hot mic this time.
Can we have just a brief moment, please?
It's sidebar?
No.
Just the two of them?
Compare the, what we have.
Yes, go ahead.
He's not bad. He's not bad, listen. He's not bad. I think we're gonna have some messy text messages just go around, but her and John seem to be going at it, baby.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
You're welcome. Sir, I'm handing you a document. Do you recognize it?
Yes.
I hope so, Lex.
This is the text messages between John O'Keefe and Jen McCabe on 29th on January 29th, 2022.
And this is to a search of Cellbrite. You match their data for all of their conversations.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. I move to introduce this, please, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
25.
Similarly to the chats, did you do the same with calls between Mr. O'Keefe and Ms. McCabe?
Yes, I did.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Showing you a document, sir. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, this is the call log between John O'Keefe and Jen McCabe for, just want to make sure I get all the dates correct, just for January 29th, 2022.
I think this is evidence, Your Honor.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 26.
Did you do a file extraction and a report on all chats between the phones of John O'Keefe and the defendant for a period of time?
Yes, I did.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Giving you a document. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, this is the text messages between John O'Keefe and the defendant from January 28th to January 29th, 2022.
Your Honor, move this into evidence.
Okay. Mr. Lessie?
No objection, Your Honor.
Right.
Exhibit 27.
Did you have an opportunity to make a report from some of the data from the defendant's phone from January 29, 2022?
What are you referring? I did make some reports from the defendant's phone.
What's a call log report?
Again, the call log report is the calls that the party makes to another phone. So it's going to show everyone they've called or attempted to call.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I just can't wait till he gets flustered because I wonder if he gonna slip up again.
So I'm going to ask you to take a look at this document. Do you recognize it?
Yes.
And could you tell the jury what it is?
It's the call log from the defendant's phone for January 29th, 2022. It looks like everyone she called.
Introduce this as an exhibit, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
28.
He's gonna try to, but hopefully they're on it.
What we just introduced into evidence is the entire call log of calls to anybody and everybody to and from for that period of time.
Yes.
That's fair to say?
Yes, that's correct.
And then can you further isolate calls between just two parties?
Yes, you can. You can search by phone number or name.
And did you do that with the defendant's records for some parties?
Yes, I did.
Did you isolate phone calls between the defendant and Ms. McCabe for the evening of January 29, 2022?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
Bridge, I don't know why he still has a job.
Just take a look at this document. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's the phone calls from the defendant and Jennifer McCabe, January 29th, 2022.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd like to move this into evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
29.
Tasha, he's back. We need him back. He did the cell phone instruction, so he has to be here.
Did you isolate calls between the defendant and Ms. Roberts for the night of January 29, 22?
Yes, I did.
Can I see the last exhibit, please? Thank you, sir. I'd ask you to take a look at that document. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Could you share with the jury what it is?
Yep. It's the call logs between the defendant and Carrie Roberts for January 29th, 2022. Yes.
That's a report you created.
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, I move this into evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
They don't have a PowerPoint because he didn't like that. He said, I didn't do that. They make a PowerPoint.
Did you have an opportunity to isolate and produce a report for all chats between the defendant and Ms. Roberts for the night of January 29, 2022?
Yes, I did.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
So I'm handing you a document. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And could you share with the jury what that is?
This is text messages between the defendant and Carrie Roberts on January 29th, 2022.
I would move this into evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Jurors, this is the way we have to put evidence in cases in Massachusetts, okay?
Exhibit 31.
So do you have an opportunity to identify a text message or a chat between the defendant and a person by the name of Ingrid on the morning of January 29th, 2022?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
If you look at this document, do you recognize it?
Yes.
Could you tell the jury what that is?
Yes, this is a text conversation between the defendant and looks like a group chat between Ingrid Curtis and Bill Curtis.
Did you make that report?
Yes, this is on January 29, 2022.
Thank you. And move this into evidence, please.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I might need to get the coffee chat.
if this is a good time, if the honor would permit.
Okay. Jurors, what we're going to do is we will take our morning recess now. And we'll take 20 minutes to a half an hour. We'll see you then.
Y'all heard 20 minutes? Wait a minute. How long?
Jurors, what we're going to do is we will take our morning recess now. And we'll take 20 minutes to a half an hour. We'll see you then.
20, did that lady say 20 to 30 minutes? Okay, hold on. $20 to 30 minutes is crazy. Hold on, is my thing off? A short break is 10 minutes.
Give me the damn messages.
Okay, what messages you want to see?
All of them.
Oh, hold on. For everyone on my live, y'all know I told y'all during the breaks where we can, I'm calling Miss J. She's on her live stream as well too. So
Y'all, it's Mel.
wait, Mel, can you go to live? I don't know what that means. Yeah, so it's Miss J. So y'all know during breaks where we can, we're going to be FaceTiming. So we can chit chat about what's going on. They're going to pink and yellow hearts in the chat. I know that's right. What messages you want to see? First of all, you said messages, so I'm gonna go back to the messages. What do you feel about Whitley talking about? She said if he's been out there for many hours. Do you think she said that?
Well, this is my thing. Whether she said it or not, whether he changed up his wording, because I think they brought up another one on Recross where they were saying that he said at one point, if he's not alive, I don't want to be alive either. And then another point she said if her husband ain't here, she gonna take herself out of here.
I get that.
It wasn't none of her husband.
He wasn't her husband, but those are similar. So I get that.
They're similar, and the other one is somewhat similar in the statement, but you didn't quantify anything.
The many hours
and all that. But my thing is, if you can say, hey, yeah, I changed that statement a little bit, but you know what I meant, then say, yeah, I changed that statement, and yeah, something else was added. Just say that. It baffles me how these EMTs, paramedics, firefighters who should have no dog in this fight are like bearing down and putting their feet in the sand, digging into the sand like this. Like, sir, you said what you said when you said what you said.
But I think for me, I said
opinion so bad.
It's and for me that's the problem, because if you are a neutral party,
you should be neutral.
Neutral.
These people who went out there to just got a call regular day to go save a life. Now, the other thing that's catching me is I feel like if I was a juror, and I keep hearing when you previously testified, and this is my first time hearing you, so I know you testified for somebody, I would, and they already said something about Proctor and you didn't. Brennan got his word choice. It's like, sir, drink your coffee first. Watch what you're saying, because
he came.
And I was taking some notes when he said the part like, you were just trying to help the case. Well, Proctor was helping too. Don't use that word if you're trying to get justice, because now I'm side-eyeing
No.
you. Now I'm side-eyeing you. Or when he said, what did he say? He said,
But Gwen, this is the problem. Gwen said they're backing the blue. My problem with their backing the blue is John was part of the blue too. When is John gonna get the help? When is John going to get the help out here? Like,
yeah, that's what it was. You were just recounting. Do you memorize your statements like it sound like it? Like, why were you saying stuff when that's really in the back of my mind? Is he memorizing it? Because I really felt like yesterday he memorized it and skipped the line. That's why I was trying to figure out what he was talking about.
That story.
And said it the exact same way yesterday and skip the line again. Like, you are memorizing. Do you record your statements to sound like it? Like, why do you keep, like, you're saying the things, like, if you want to put that out there and say, I'm going to go ahead and dispel this, why the fuck you ain't dispel Proctor? Like,
I'm so interested to see what they're going to do with Proctor. And then the thing about the cell phone experts, like, you got Agent Bernie who was doing it for the FBI. Sometimes they have a little more training. Sometimes they actually go to school for this type of thing. This man, he's taking some classes. I hope they're able to trip him up, because last time I think he was a bit confusing for me. He's a bit confusing for me. Yes, he has been rehearsing.
How are you, a forensic analyst, talking about I'm confused? Sir, what was you confused about? Because he asking you about your words. So why are you confused? And the other thing is, like, stuff like yesterday, best of luck. And like,
are you talking about when Jen told
Jen, when she said the best
why do you need luck?
You talking about stuff about I'm confused. Luck and confusion ain't got shit to do with the truth. The truth should never be confusing, and luck, the truth don't need no luck.
Now wait, Lauren just brought this up. I thought his testimony when he said if you really knew Carrie, you wouldn't be saying that. I felt like, where did that come from? Did she really say that? Did she really say that? Because my thing is, if she felt like that, why the hell would she call Carrie in the first place? If I felt like that's not a person that I could depend on or that would help me, why would you call her in the first place?
Please ask Mel what the rumors are why they want to take this man out in close rank.
What?
Somebody said,
what
please
man?
Ask Mel what the rumors are why they want to take this man out in close rank.
I don't know who that is, and I'm going to be so honest. There is so much Karen Reed stuff to keep up with. I as much
stay out of it until it gets into
I try. If I see it in court, I'll talk about it. But I don't know.
Rumors about why they wanted to take John out.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't. So I've seen.
Something. There's no other way that
I've seen people say
like that, because they supposed to be brothers in blue.
Well, I've seen people say that John. Now this is a rumor, so this is all alleged. But people have put this in my ex comments as well as on here that allegedly Colin was involved in the white girl selling of the white girl, and that he knew something about it. So I don't know. That's something that I've heard, but I don't know that to be true. I don't even know.
To be honest, like again, and this is nothing against Karen, and I'm not saying I want Karen to have any more mental anguish. What I'm saying is, normally when there is a cop that has fallen, there is no rest for the weary. Okay, there is no bit of peace, and even a lot of times, if somebody gets found not guilty, people don't even respect the verdict because they lost a cop, they lost a brother, they lost a colleague, they lost a comrade. So for Karen to be able to garner this support for the blue, there are other blue brothers that are still here to allow people to support in a way where John just looked like a regular person. And we know he was not.
He was not.
That scares me so bad, because it's just like, now we all know people will be out for self or they'll turn on people. That just makes me feel like John didn't get with the program.
Something.
Whatever it was. Whether it was that den of sin, whether it was that sugary substance, whether it was another thing, whatever it was, John knew in his moral high ground or his moral compass was leading him in another direction, and it was not that house or them people. John wasn't getting with the program in some way, shape, or form. That just
something.
Like
I don't.
to me.
But you know what?
I don't know what the rumor would be, but at this point, for me to see a cop, a fallen cop, be treated like a civilian.
I don't even think it's that though. Honestly, I don't think it's that.
Fellow cop sprinkling some madness and corruption all up in the dang like.
I'm not buying that though. I personally do not buy that. And I'm going to tell you, I really do think it was a drunken accident. I really do. Whether they got into a fight, whatever happened, I think it was a drunken accident. I think it was a drunken accident that someone caused, though, which led to the cover up and all of this stuff. I don't think it was premeditated. Oh, we're going to do this to him, because Cameron was coming with him too. I don't think it was premeditated. I do think it was an accident. Like I said, a drunken accident that someone caused.
I think they fought, because I think if he would have failed, I think if he would have tripped, I think if it would have been a dog or anything else, nobody would have questioned it but for how it actually started. So nobody wants to say anything because of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do think all the attempts to swing on him, do something to him, were absolutely miscalculated because they were under the influence. So you might have swung a pole at the back of somebody's head because you was drunk instead of just throwing your fist. You know, something like that. But I do think.
Well, y'all, no.
Be able to explain it away. I think they knew, even though it was an accident, it would have also still been considered a crime, and for that reason, they went to these lengths to cover it up, and in whatever dumbass
Thank you, Forrest.
pattern. When they put their dang on heads together, they came up with.
So T asked, well, why not call the police if it were truly an accident? When I'm saying accident, when I say drunken accident, I'm meaning maybe they got into a tussle, got to fighting. They were not intending to kill him. That type of accident. Not like, oh, he tripped, he fell, boom. Because I do believe the story that people had, well, maybe he opened the basement door. The dog came in, the dog attacked him. He fell down the stairs because he was drunk and he hit his head. Not that type of accident, because if that truly happened, they would have called the police. But if I believe that it was a drunken fight.
For him to pass. What
I'm
saying is, in their actions, they knew that regardless of what their intentions were, it was still a crime. And so they knew at the end of the day it was still a crime. So they went through they jumped it through catastrophic lengths.
Man,
to cover this up, and they just was making it up as they went along, to me. And they just added this and took this out and put this there. Like, at the end of the day, it was still a crime. It just wasn't. He was supposed to get beat up and then be at work with a black eye and a nana boo boo. And that's not what happened.
Oh, the reason.
Cujo. I don't care what they say. You're not getting ready to tell me that no.
It's just annoying to me because I can't fathom how this happened to John. It just bothers me so bad. I want to know what happened to this man, because again, I do feel like we are forgetting that there is a victim in all of this. Like, she never gonna get off the dog. Is Miss J still mad at me? Yeah, she was talking. She texted me last night talking about Friday. But and then we'll bring that up, Jazz. You didn't go to this man's funeral. You can't get on this stand and say, "Oh, I wish he would have came in my house." You can't say shit like that. You didn't go to his funeral. Come on now, make it make sense. She never gonna leave that dog alone, because Cujo, that dog is vicious. And I mean, she did have Big Bear. So then there's that. They wouldn't have a dog attack. Would cost them everything in a civil suit, and they were trying to sell their house, not lose everything. But Lizzie, they weren't trying to sell their house until all of this happened. Remember? I don't believe them about we were thinking about it. This was like a generational home. I just can't see that. They weren't thinking about selling their house.
They weren't thinking about selling their house. Oh, I need to tell you, your nephew's preschool to kindergarten promotion is Tuesday for Denver. So, in Dallas, I don't even know if I get Dallas took his kindergarten.
I think I saw
photos, so they'll be up when he graduates next month.
I miss my babies being that small. Now I got a whole 19-year-old. Oh, I can't believe my baby will be 20 this year. Like, that is just crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's like me.
LJ will be 14
this year. I'm trying to figure out what to do for his dang on birthday.
I just really can't believe that they should. I just really can't believe that.
You said you was scared of Bear. Come on, B.
I was talking about Bear because they talking about dogs vicious. I said, well, she ain't want to talk with Big Bear with her.
Bear was a sweetheart. Okay. But again, like I said, if you know that your dog will not accept new people, it's not gonna happen. Like there's no way that dog would have ever been up and you invite people to your house. Like things like that would have made it a crime. You knew what you were doing.
Look, Jazz said sweetheart. Jazz, did you hear her say that?
It was. Bear likes to cuddle, honey, and watch TV, and he just didn't eat tomatoes. He liked tacos, no tomatoes.
I just can't believe Mariah's my birthday twin. Ronnie, I forgot you told me that. Yes, girl, Mariah about to be 20 in November. My baby will be 21 in November. I had him at 17. My other son will be 15.
Jermaine said, I think that they jumped him regarding his beef and Karen kissing the other dude. They jumped him and the dog got into the fight.
You know what? For some reason, this clique does not make me feel like
that's a good question.
That texting was that deep.
Fired too, or
who?
Higgins.
Oh, I think he on like desk duty or something. He's sure not in the same department.
Mm.
He's not in the same department anymore.
Okay.
Oh, Yay said yay for Denver, yay for Dallas.
Oh, listen. They got everybody. And the crazy thing is, why is people contacting me talking about some, what's she say? When's the graduation so we can come? This is kindergarten. Y'all is not about to come from out of town about this graduation.
Oh, I just remember my babies being that small.
Listen, and I looked at Dallas's pictures the day he went to go take the pictures. I'm like, oh, okay. Then when the digital, because we got the digital package and the actual proofs or the actual photos, because the actual photo we ordered is a collage of him in the cap and gown. So I'm like, why do I feel like I'm about to cry about my baby in kindergarten? I said, I don't know how y'all do this. See, I cried about my ear the whole time.
Cry because it's kindergarten. I cried so bad, and I feel like every milestone they have it's like even harder for me because my mom's not here. So Mariah's graduation, baby, toe up graduation. Do you hear me? LJ's 8th grade graduation next year. I'm gonna be toe up. Like that's my little baby, and now he's like big.
Because I was looking at some stuff, and I was just like, you know what?
You gotta be there, Yates. Yates said, if my sister-in-law lets me come for any graduation, my ass will be there. Baby, you have to be there because it happened, y'all. It goes so fast.
Listen,
it goes so fast.
With my sister, Zaire was my baby. So I was at everything.
Now, Sharonda.
Matching outfits, matching shoes. Like, Zaire was my baby. So now that he's grown, she be like, did you send your nephew some money? Sure did. Like, he's grown. He got a job. Okay, and we handle this.
Someone wants me to ask you this. Sharonda said, do you remember the COO about the woman stealing the dog from coworkers? My point, folks love animals. So them getting rid of Chloe isn't normal. Baby, you know I know.
Oh, man. Oh, Tiffany Wise. Or y'all know her as Tiffany's Beaded Beauties, and y'all know my stomach is tied up because of Tiffany. I'm finishing my detox so I can put my 2 new ones on. She said that she is giving away mystery bags to the first 3 people who inbox her on TikTok. She do the waist beads.
She did some over here. She did some over here.
99, first 3 people, she got mystery bags. Oh, she gave me a t-shirt that spelled coffee backwards because it said fuck. Coffee backwards until I have my coffee till it's backwards. Like I got till it's backwards. Okay. I got 2 new waist beads that sit right here in the bags because I'm getting.
I wish I could wear stuff like that. When I tell you, it just annoys me so bad just being there. People say, "Oh, you'll forget it's there." I feel like that with bracelets. Like I can wear them for so long, but they have to come off. And the little bangles, if I'm going to be typing, I'm not wearing bangles because I can't stand to hear the sound click on the thing. I like waist beads. I mean, just like necklaces.
Like my bracelet
They gotta
is
come off.
over here somewhere because I just took it off. I can only do these because they bend, but my bangle, it's on my desk somewhere. I just
She
had it, but it has to
tell
come off while
Tiff
I'm typing. I
tell
can't do
Tiff
my-
Yates
but
says
my
she need a
waist
shirt.
beads,
Wait,
if
tell
I didn't-
tell Tiff Yates says she need a shirt.
Yates says she needs a shirt.
She needs a shirt.
Listen, they had, let me tell you, if I don't have these waist beads, I would be a whale.
What are the waist beads doing for you?
So what happens is when you put them on first thing in the morning because your stomach is as small as it's ever going to be. They don't have no elastic. They don't have no stretch. You don't take them off. I just lift them up So when I tie it on, it ties to that part of my stomach. If I overeat, it gets uncomfortable because the waist beads don't get no bigger. So it's a conscious way of if you a big back like me and you like to taste everything, it's gonna be like, whoa, okay, we're doing a little bit too much here. So what ends up happening is your stomach is never bigger than that waist bead you tied on, and your waist beads begin to fall.
I mean, but what if your stomach get big? You just cut them off. I just
yeah,
don't
you
do
just
that.
cut them off and put new ones on.
Ronnie, what is 16 strands?
Listen, so friend, I'm embarrassed to say this. I'm gonna go get them. This how big your friend was. You see how far they didn't fell down. They all the way down here. That's how big your friend was.
I just can't fathom walking around with them things
The
on me. Why
ones
the
that I put
hell
on-
you got so many?
Because I don't be taking them off. This brown set.
You walk, wait. What if you go out? What you do if you get ready to go out?
Go out.
What if you got like a body con?
Huh?
What if you put a body con on?
You can't see them. They thin.
Hell, a body con is thin. So you wear them with a body con?
I wear them with everything. You can see them.
Hell no.
You see me a different set. But what I'm saying is all of these was under my
T.
They didn't fail.
When you take your bath, it don't. When you take
the two new ones that Tiffany made me, I'm gonna tie them up here. That means this right here ain't gonna never be bigger than this. It's just gonna keep
T. But when you take a bath, you got to dry all them damn beads off.
I do. I pick them up. Yeah, I pick them all up.
You pick them up and do what?
Wash, dry them off. Yeah. I have to wash me.
Why the hell you want? You got 2 kids. Why do you want to do so much work?
Because if I don't do the work, I'm gonna eat. Listen.
Just don't eat.
Just don't what?
Just don't eat.
Dallas, you gotta take that in your room, baby. I can't hear.
Man.
Just don't eat what? Food?
Yeah.
Then how am I supposed to live?
Hell, you can be cautious about what you eat. Y'all really telling me these bees make y'all stop eating?
Let me tell you how my brain works. The second I say I'm gonna cut out carbs, don't S taste right to me but carbs. I don't even want
Ash.
I can't do it. The one thing that I can do is I got 1,000 saucers now. I don't make my food on a plate. I only use a saucer. Half of that got to be vegetables so I can do some portion control. But I'm not going to stop eating anything. Might eat a little less of it. But I ain't stopping no gravy. I ain't stopping none of that. None of that. I just smothered some chicken. I ain't going to. That's just not me. I know my
I'm just saying, you got like 20 damn things on your stomach right now. I just can't believe you not like that would.
You don't have to keep them all on. Technically, these ones hanging all the way down here, they can.
You should have took them off 4 months ago. Look like.
They just cute. They ain't doing nothing. Okay.
Them things. I can't wait for the day you drop your pants and them beads fall with them because that's what's look like gonna happen.
I done that before. Went to go use the bathroom and took the pants and the beads off like shit because you can't get them back on. I done that before.
Okay, Brianna say it's the way people measure inches. I think for me, having something touching me under something would probably my mind just can't do it. I be seeing people with these beads on all the time, but I wonder, like, I can't imagine putting my body con on with all them beads. No, it's not lunch, Shanny.
Oh, she got 3. Okay, she'll be doing a giveaway this month. So what I end up doing is a lot of people will keep them on. Some people keep them on because they think they're cute. Some people just put them on because they go with the outfit or they got a little crop. I normally cut them off because, like, technically these right here aren't doing anything anymore because I've already lost it. They're already dropping.
Ash,
I can technically take them off.
Ash, they know me too well. Ash said, Mel, your OCD not gonna allow it. Not at all. I can't even imagine right now having beads under my shirt and putting the shirt on top. Like, the thought is making my flesh crawl. The thought of getting out the bathtub and I got 30 damn beads around my waist. I gotta dry my body off and dry the beads because I can't feel wet beads on my body.
Yeah, I use a hand towel and I put them up under the beads, roll the beads, all that good stuff. And you can't see, that's the other thing. See, people be out here getting cheap beads, cheap plastic beads, and beads they ain't got no business buying. And so then they end up like chipping and like people don't always do the right things with the beads and just put them on because they're cute. And then they end up with something they got no business on your skin.
Brianna said it ain't no taking them off and putting them back on. They damn near permanent.
Yeah, you have to cut them off. The ones I use, now they do have some.
Now why you on here talking about Mel? You could just some people take them off and put them back on.
No, because they have some that have clasps.
Okay.
Like a lobster clasp, like a necklace. So if you just wanted it on for the look, the cute one, my cousin got gold ones. Like if you just want them on for the look, then you can. But I actually use it because it's the original waist trainer. So that's why I use them.
Yeah, wait a minute, what's going on?
That's why you'll see different colors. Like the brown ones are on there, the pink ones are on there. And so most of these are going to get cut off when I put these two new ones on.
I don't know what we telling Kayla congratulations for, but congratulations, Kayla. Because I don't know what we saying. So they just in the chat talking about congratulations, Kayla.
Huh?
They saying congratulations, Kayla, but I don't know what happened.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Look, I don't know what's going on with the beads, girls, but she passed the bar, period, Kayla. Congratulations, girl. Yes, ma'am. And see, y'all know what I'm about to say. And to that sassy ass man that said people sitting on my live and don't have a life. Baby, they out here passing the bar. Okay?
Get your life. What you here for? Besides, worry about everybody else.
No, that was some sassy man that I met over the weekend, child, that I had to tell him, baby, this not gonna work. I had to block him, child. I know that's right, but yes. Okay. Back, do you think Mike is the only so far, has he been one of the most believable witnesses for you?
The only one, to be honest. The only one. And that's because at first I took his demeanor as nervousness, but you can tell that was his friend.
He's emotional.
That was his friend. He was trying not to have a physical breakdown in what he was in. And I can't imagine what it would be like to go through this one time and expect a result. Because I don't, for people, anybody who's been through it, I've personally been through it. When you go through an unaliving trial, it's like it just happened yesterday. Like you just keep reliving that moment, the call, and everybody keep talking about it and keep putting up pictures, and you literally break down like Mama O'Keefe, okay? So you, for them as a friend to have lost your bestie, and then you didn't get a result the last time. People are telling you this is the evidence. You got a whole campaign swarming around you every time you turn on the TV. Like, everybody's at odds. People are going against each other. People you thought was his friend may not look so friendly no more. People you thought might have his back don't have his back. And as a friend, you just want your friend. You don't care about Officer O'Keefe. You don't care about they buddy. You care about JJ. You care about the person. And just to have no result the first time. All the madness swarming around this now. A corrupt investigator. And they have to get up there again and you just lost your friend all over again. Like,
I think it's sad.
Like he was trying his best as a man to not show his feelings and emotions, and it came out. I think he was the only truthful person. I think he was the only truthful person. The safest cross too, as far as getting on somebody that's emotional.
Yeah.
That was probably the safest.
They said Mike acknowledged he could barely say much to Kaylee. I'm assuming because he was also grieving his friend, but they painted the picture that Karen didn't come prepared. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna be real, and I don't care. Okay? What? I don't care. And my mama not even here. So I know if y'all mama's still alive, I know y'all love y'all mamas. Right? And I'll never disrespect your mama. But I'm gonna tell you this. If I'm your girl and your mama has been rude, disrespectful to me, and then you pass, I'm gonna give her the same energy she gave me. Peg, what Peg say? What's she here for? I'm gonna give you the same energy. I'm not trying to comfort you either because you're not trying to comfort me. I'm not trying to be in a space that you don't want me to be at. I'm gonna let your mama have it. I'm gonna let your mama have it.
And I'm out, and I'm on about my business. But
I'm gonna let your mama have it. It's cool. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all know where I'm gonna go. Cause see, my mother is gone, but my big sister stayed at home with us all the time. So that's like my second mom. I'm gonna call my big sister and I'm going with Rara. Rara gonna fly to Memphis. I called y'all. If something happened to me right now, y'all know who coming. Rara on the flight.
she giving your mama the same energy.
Rara is on a flight and Rara gonna come see about Melanie. I'm calling my sister. I'm saying my dude just died.
It's me. Cause let me tell you,
Rara coming to see about me.
if your mama is alive with us, she can either take this as she is gaining a daughter, but if she treating me like she losing a son, I got a mama too. I'm calling my mama. Somebody gonna be here, and at some point, I'm not gonna regard you as his mama. We're gonna have a real conversation, woman to woman, and you ain't gonna like what I got to say.
I don't want to comfort your mama.
On that level with you, and you're not giving me respect. Oh, it's not gonna be reciprocated. Sorry. I know they say you're not supposed to match energy because you.
I'm matching.
Mine will go to hell.
I'm matching it. Okay. Because I just found my dude.
Peace and your peace will be destroyed.
I just found my dude in the grass.
All of that, and then I'll come back to my high vibration. But what I will do is get with you if you obviously are thinking that I'm something that you can play with. I am not a child's plaything. I am not a toy. So I ain't waiting for you to pass.
But Erica,
check your mama better know her place, so we're gonna have a conversation.
Erica talking about Erica saying she can't do that. But here's the thing, Erica. That one, they back. Oh, they back, y'all. Okay, I'll tell you later. Well, not on Court TV. Hold on, y'all. She said they're back. They're not back on Court TV. I don't like switching around, and I'm not really loving Law and Crime's feed at the moment. But let me check to see. They back on Law and Crime. I'll swap it, y'all. But Law and Crime has been tripping lately. Oh, Court TV back, y'all. I'm going back to Court TV. I prefer your stream around.
Council for a minute regarding scheduling, please.
Now, Bev. I did, Brianna. You know what? Yesterday, because she was on that stand crying and grieving for us, somebody in the chat called her Mrs. Doubtfire. It may have been Kiss. It may have been Kiss. And when I say I laughed in my head, when I say I'm not going to post it because it's insensitive. She's up here crying. I don't want them to think. Today, Peg not even in the courtroom. Mrs. Doubtfire is insane. Good morning, Jenna. Mrs. Doubtfire is insane. But when they put it in the chat, all I said, Lord, Peg just missing that little cream sweater Miss Doubtfire was wearing. I think it was Kiss. I think I saw Chris in the, yes, it was, see? Kiss. It was such a perfect comment. I said she up here crying. I don't want to post it on the big screen. But when I tell you I was so tickled, oh, today all bets are off, baby, okay? She's not in the courtroom. Peg is not up there crying and being nasty to Karen. She's not up there doing it. So we gonna go ahead. When I tell y'all, I love y'all so much in this chat because y'all a little unhinged. Y'all are very, very funny, baby. Oh my God. I was definitely thinking the same. Pretty said she was thinking the same thing yesterday. Mrs. Doubtfire is so on point, though. So on point. When I tell you, said Bev never seems happy, she does not. She does not seem happy, and I think she's annoyed. But I'm gonna tell you, I think she doesn't like these high-powered attorneys. That's one. I really do think she has an opinion about Karen, whether that be she did it or not, or she's a bitch or what. But that's what she's giving. That's what she's giving. I think Bev just needs some conditioner. If Bev, because blonde is not so hard for me, especially when my hair is this low.
Jury, please.
Like, blonde can
Okay, thank you.
takes a lot on your hair. That's it. I'm easy. I do leave-in a lot. Yeah. I do leave-in conditioners a lot. And I don't take the best care of my hair either. I think that's probably why I keep it so short. Jenny, send your girl a kit. She needs some conditioner, baby. Somebody in here pushing.
All right, so court, please. We're adjourned.
Oh man, that was me talking about Bev need a mayo man. They may have said mayo and avocado or something like that. I said, y'all going too far. You know what, kids? I'm not doing it. Listen, somebody said, did y'all put in this chair? She need an avocado, egg, and mayo man. I said, now who the hell getting this specific? Y'all messy. Jenny.
Goes back to session and may be seated.
All right, Mr. Brennan, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We're on the 30-minute break then.
Good afternoon. Just a few more items I'd like you to recognize. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Showing you an envelope. Do you know what's in that envelope?
Yes, the raw data extraction of John O'Keefe's cell phone.
All right, ask it to be marked simply for identification, please.
Okay. Thank you.
Second folder.
Yes, the raw data extraction of Jen McCabe's cell phone that I created.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, ask it to be marked for identification as well.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Trooper, you shared with us that you downloaded the extraction of the phones that you identified, and you made reports based on specific identified features. For example, a conversation between two people.
Yes, so I didn't do the extraction of Jen's phone, but I made those reports with the PDFs from the data extraction.
Relative to Mr. O'Keefe and the defendant's phones, you created a document that provided us the phone calls between them on January 29th.
Yes, that's correct.
And separately, you also provided a document that included all of the chats or text messages between John O'Keefe and the defendant on January 29th, 2022.
It also included the 28th.
Thank you.
Yes.
And in that compilation, did you put together or do you create or review a PowerPoint of those?
Yes, I did.
And what was the point of that?
Just to show the
Point, guys.
texts and calls in a chronological order, because that way you're not looking at two different documents, trying to compare and contrast the calls to text messages when each is coming in.
And did you begin that PowerPoint presentation with a call at 2:16:10 on January 28, 2022?
Yes, that's correct.
And are there additional chats or text messages earlier that morning?
Yes, there's a handful starting around 9:45 a.m.
May I
Yes.
approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Handing you a folder, sir. Could you take a look at it? Let us know if you recognize what's in it.
Yes. So this is the bulk of this is the PowerPoint calls and text messages, and then at the beginning, there's the messages from before 2:16 in the morning.
I'd like to introduce this as an exhibit, Your Honor.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
Great, thank you.
Exhibit 33.
With court permission, I'd ask the witness to read the text messages from the morning hours, and then we begin the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
She let the
Do
PowerPoint.
you have a hard copy of those for me?
It was provided. I'll see if you have another copy if you don't have it.
All right, I have, it's in here, the pre-morning hours. The ones that we discussed at sidebar. If you don't have them,
The defense has a copy for you, Your Honor.
thank you.
So she left it to the PowerPoint.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Little.
It's gonna be loud and it's going to be real.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, please.
May we begin, Your Honor?
Please.
Could you first read the text messages from that morning to the jury?
Yes. Apologize if I misspelled things or state things. Start time, all right. It's a little different than the
Things read
format I had before.
for you.
All right, this is from Karen Reed to John O'Keefe. You have really hurt me this time. This was sent at 9:49:20 a.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I'm sorry, this has been an issue with me for 8 years. It physically hurts me to see everyone else in their life do things for them, and I'm forced to always be the bad guy. This was sent at 10:02:56 a.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm not the same as everyone else. Most of the time I try to do what is healthy/smart for them. More importantly, I try to support you in what you need. You just lashed out at me and said terrible things. I don't know how you've gotten to this point with me when I'm just trying my hardest. You made your point and continue to beat me down. I have a lot going on too. Physically, I am falling apart and trying to get answers and help. 10:09:49 a.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I am just your girlfriend. I am not a perfect parent. I'm trying very hard and sometimes treat them nothing like I used to. 10:46 a.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I know, I'm sorry for lashing out. I'm just hurting and struggle daily with them. Always feel like I'm failing at this parenting thing. I wasn't built for this. 10:12 a.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, Kaylee isn't perfect, but everything wonderful about her is because of you. 12:21:36 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, an emoji is sent at 12:21:59 on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, it's true, I know she's her mother's daughter, but she wouldn't be so bright and successful if she lived with anyone else. 12:22:51 p.m. on the 28th.
It's shady.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, wow, Kristen just sent 2 back-to-back messages to not lose your faith in the kids. 12:31:28 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or in yourself, at 12:31:41 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, there's 2 emojis sent at 12:32:06 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, no, and there's 2 emojis. Life can pick you up sometimes. Please be happy with them and put away your frustrations for the rest of the day. And be so proud of yourself, JJ. That's 12:33:35 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, that's what bothers me more than anything. Should have sent Peg's or Sarah's W-2s. We are all equal guardians. 1:18:21 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, maybe you can call someone. 1:21:55 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, like who? 1:46:42 p.m. on the 28th.
What are we doing here?
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, what time are you coming here? 1:47:38 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, it's another emoji sent, 2:05:30 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't know what time, feel kind of out of it, just trying to clear my head, 2:06:07 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, he writes, okay, 2:06:25 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, Text me when you guys settle in later. 2:06:44 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, sure. 2:06:58 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to, oh, no, it's cut off here. Sorry.
Mhm.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
That must be where the,
Would
sorry.
be helpful if I take it out of the binder.
I believe it, yeah, it goes to the next one, so I'll start. Yeah, sorry.
With the court's permission, we'll begin the PowerPoint.
Yes.
We got a PowerPoint.
Should I
At your
finish
leisure.
first? Okay. The phone calls, text messages, and then we'll start with the first slide. This is from the defendant to John O'Keefe. I feel pretty shitty about how this morning went down. I know you said sorry, but it really stung, especially when I've been trying pretty hard lately. I
Weird.
feel like a loser turning around, just coming back over after everything you said. 2:16:10 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, not sure what you want me to do. I said I'm sorry and I was out of line. If you prefer to stay home, I totally get it. 2:17:16 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, things in my own life have been difficult too, 33 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I know. 2:17:40 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:17:45 p.m., the defendant calls John. The phone call is answered and they speak for 2 minutes, 22 seconds. 2:23:02 p.m., the defendant calls John. That's again answered at 1:00, and they speak for 1 minute, 2 seconds. At 2:24:17 p.m., the defendant calls John and the call is rejected. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, tell me if you're interested in someone else. Can't think of any other reason you've been like this. 2:25:18 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, nope. 2:25:33 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, things haven't been great between us for a while. Ever consider that? 2:26:03 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:28:40 p.m., the defendant calls John. That call is rejected.
Mr. Greeno, can you explain to us the difference between not answered and rejected?
Yes, so if the call is not answered, that means the call rang out and goes to voicemail. If the call is rejected, that is someone actively hitting the send to voicemail button to disable the call to stop it from ringing. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, kids are here, not in the mood to talk. 2:29:03 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, so you're not into it anymore. That's fine, but I don't want to keep trying and you keep treating me like this. 2:29:12 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm trying to hug and kiss you this morning and you whack me in the face with a pillow. 2:29:59 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, last night you're basically like, yeah, what about when we talk about the future? So why don't you just admit you're not into so much anymore? 2:30:23 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, not how it went down, but okay. 2:30:26 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please admit your head is out of the game with us? 2:30:52 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, sick of always arguing and fighting. It's been weekly for several months now. So yeah, I'm not as quick to jump back into being lovey-dovey as you apparently. 2:32:28 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:32:47 p.m., the defendant calls John. That call is rejected. John O'Keefe to the defendant, OMG, stop calling. 2:32:54 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, then why would you start with me this morning? 2:32:58 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you're setting me up to fail. 2:33:05 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you started a number of fights from your end. 2:33:26 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant. I've explained it a few times already, not doing it again. 2:33:31 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, so you're not into this anymore. 2:33:41 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, not into fighting all the time, correct. 2:34:03 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, if you tell me you're interested in someone else, you will never hear from me again. You can have all the space in the world. 2:34:11 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, he sends an emoji. 2:34:19 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, then stop starting with me. 2:34:20 p.m. on the 28th. 2:34:29 p.m. The defendant calls John. He rejects the call. John O'Keefe to the defendant. I'm not answering. Stop calling. 2:34:42 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please answer after how you treated me earlier? 2:34:43 p.m. on the 28th. 2:34:54 p.m. The defendant calls John. That's rejected. John O'Keefe to the defendant. Kaylee is right here. 2:35:02 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. You start a rager with me out of nowhere and then tell me you're sick of fighting with me. 2:35:41 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. I'm going to grab a drink in a bit. 2:38:14 p.m. on the 28th. 2:38:42 p.m. The defendant calls John. That call is rejected. The defendant.
I know Mr. O'Keefe not here, but I just got to say this. John would have been taking his ass to that bar by himself because he would have been blocked. You want to play this game and I answer? Karen is annoying me. They both annoying. Because, baby, just let him have his time. He needs some space. Give him the space. They both annoy me.
Defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please answer? 2:38:52 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, no, Karen. Not sure why you need to announce that you're going, Not sure why you need to announce that you're grabbing a drink, but have fun. 2:39:46 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, seeing if you want to meet me later. 2:40:22 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you please call me? 2:40:32 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, have to take them to the doctor. He has practice. 2:40:55 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, 5 minutes. 2:41:17 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:43:01 p.m., the defendant calls John. It's not answered. At 2:43:45 p.m., the defendant calls John. The call is rejected. John O'Keefe to the defendant. My father just walked in. 2:43:58 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. Okay, can you please call me for 2 minutes? 2:44:14 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant. Not right now. 2:44:23 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. I'm there when anyone else needs me. 2:44:26 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:45:32 p.m., the defendant calls John. The call is rejected. The defendant calls Mr. O'Keefe. Yes, John, you gave me utter grief this morning. I'd like you to call me for a minute. 2:46:16 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. I've been trying to get over the hump with is arguing, and now you tell me you're not into doing things, and you don't want to fight weekly, but fly off the handle at 8 a.m. with me, like you're setting me up to fail. 2:47:08 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe. I've been dealing with my own personal crisis over things I have zero control over. I'd like to lean on you too sometimes. Instead, I just hear everything I've done wrong. 2:48:34 p.m. on the 28th. At 2:56 p.m., the defendant calls John. The call is rejected. At 2:51:13 PM, the defendant calls John. It's rejected. 2:52:37 PM, John calls the defendant. It's not answered. At 2:53:56, the defendant calls John. Again, not answered. The defendant, John O'Keefe, you seriously cannot pick up the phone for 2 seconds. 2:54:13 PM. 2:58:05 PM, the defendant calls John. It's rejected. At 2:59:13, John calls the defendant. The call is answered and they speak for 4 minutes, 59 seconds. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, why don't you meet me at Hillside at 4:30/5, 3:08:55 PM. John O'Keefe to the defendant sends an emoji at 3:10:08 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or whenever you get, or whenever you get everyone settled, 3:10:35 PM on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, like I said, doctor now, and he has practice till 6. If you want to go start drinking, then go for it. 3:36:21 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I didn't know the times of his practice. 3:36:40 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I just want to give you space at the house without me there. So rather meet you out than meet at the house. 3:37:01 PM on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, yeah, well, now there's a 72-year-old taking up shop on my couch. 3:37:36 PM on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, that too. 3:37:46 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, is he going to Collins? 3:38:23 PM on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, not tonight. 3:38:32 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, so do you plan on going out tonight? 3:39:01 PM on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, Karen, I don't know. 3:39:17 PM on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, you're like jonesing to drink, so go. 3:39:43 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, well, after how this morning went down, I don't think I need to be back over there with you. Get frustrated at how I am with the kids. Has nothing to do with drinking. 3:40 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I am paranoid now that everything I do with them is problematic. So rather see you for a minute without it, kids around. 3:40:24 PM on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, what's your plan at 4:47:16 PM on the 28th? From the defendant to John O'Keefe, don't have one. 4:50:09 PM on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, so still home. 4:50:26 PM on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, yes, 4:50:45 PM on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, we just got home, waiting to see what Papa decides here or else I have to get Patrick at 6. 4:59:45 PM on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, 5:01:55 PM on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, so are you staying home or coming here? 5:02:23 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, waiting to see what you end up doing. I don't want to hang out at the house too much, like I said. 5:03:40 PM on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I think it's clear me around the kids, I think it's clear me around with the kids around is slowly killing our relationship. And our relationship is much more important to me. 5:04:16 PM on the 28th.
So I get it.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, well, there's a blizzard coming, so we'll be inside all weekend. 5:04:19 PM on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, it will be over by noon tomorrow. 5:44 p.m. on the 28th.
We didn't see these, y'all.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, don't think so.
We didn't see
5:05:27 p.m. on the 28th. Defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't want to keep having this constant conflict of the dynamic of the four of us.
Mm-hmm.
The harder I tried, the more it kills our relationship as a couple. It feels like utter shit to be in that position. Rather just meet you out for drinks when you figure out what your night looks like. 5:06:45 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, well, I have no idea what's going on, so do what you want. 5:07:34 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, need to figure out what everyone here is doing. All I know now is Madeline is coming over. No clue about Patrick yet, or if Papa is planning on hanging it for a few more hours. 5:09:29 p.m. on the 28th.
That's it, honey.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, well, when you know the story and if you want me to come up, let me know. 5:12:36 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, no, Karen, you decide what you want to do. 5:13:18 p.m. on the 28th.
Oh, beg the
From
next.
the defendant to John O'Keefe, I know your heart isn't in this anymore. I felt it for a while and especially lately. I'm willing to try more, but not if you approaching the point of indifference. If you want me to come up and you can head out for a while.
I sure hate to say this about Karen, y'all, but Karen, can I play? Y'all, who the hell is Karen giving right now? Who else text messages have y'all seen that Karen is giving right now?
Then say so when you know what your father is doing. 5:14:23 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, you come up and I head out, really? Emoji. 5:15:48. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I've told you already, I don't bounce back as quickly as you do after we have a battle. 5:16:52 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, no, head out together with an emoji. 5:17:49 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or meet out. 5:17:54 on the 28th.
You're not over, John.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, gonna send Patrick to Collins tonight. They're picking him up around 7. Mike may hang out too when he brings Matt over. So why don't you just come over? 5:19:42 p.m. on the 28th.
It seemed like he was trying to get rid of him.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, Mike doesn't want to go out for a bit. 5:20:20 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I would like to, been a shit day from the jump. 5:20:33 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, probably 5:20:39 p.m. on the 28th.
Ooh.
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I just got sober an hour ago. 5:20:56 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'll text you, hang with Mike for a few. I don't need to butt in. Text me if/when you think may head out. 5:25:12 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, can you send me Tim Zoll's contact info, please? 5:26:38 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I paid the last bill. 5:27:08 p.m. on the 28th.
Gotta be.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you didn't have to do that, thanks. 5:27:43 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, are you really not going to accept my friend request? 5:32:33 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, an emoji on what, FB?
Cause what?
5:33:01 p.m. on the 28th.
They've been together 2 years.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, we've been going out for 2 years. 5:33:20 p.m.
A
on
long
the
time
28th.
ago.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, I haven't gone on. You defriended me over a year ago, I believe.
Okay.
5:33:48 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, Carrie texted that they're headed out in a bit. 6:05:29 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, okay, 6:14:55 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, she's going to let me know where, 6:17:51 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, so you're going to meet them, 6:18:12 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, just presenting it as an option, wouldn't mind hanging out with them for a drink. 6:19 p.m. on the 28th.
I know this right.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, is Mike over, 6:27:26 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, yes, 6:29:45 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, sounds you're like good with getting together tonight, 6:31:32 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, was hoping after this morning you'd be interested in smoothing things over with me, 6:32:24 p.m. on the 28th.
You best quit.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, told you to come over, but you insisted on meeting me out somewhere, 6:33:44 p.m. on the 28th.
Should have went to that man's house.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, Mike is a little off with me for a while now. I've said that multiple times, 6:34:34 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to Karen, the defendant, time to get over it, Karen. He's fine. He was fine the other night when he came by, 6:38:09 p.m. on the 28th.
Hey, KSW.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, wouldn't mind hanging out with other people, like another female too, 6:39:09 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, where are you meeting them? 6:39:28 p.m. on the 28th.
John O'Keefe needed to be
From the
popped.
defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't have plans with them. She just said they're headed out in a bit and will text when they land somewhere. 6:39:52 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, if you want to go out with Mike solo, that's fine. Just let me know. 6:40:17 p.m. on the 28th.
Yeah, Jasmine.
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, I already told you what you should do. Not going to keep doing this. 6:41:07 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe,
She said
I
that.
asked to let me know if you guys are going to head out. I haven't been out for drinks this week and had a shit week and a shit day. And I dread Kaylee or Pat is going to get chatty with me the second I walk in, and that is going to irritate you.
I'll irritate.
6:43:21 on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, Pat is leaving. Kay is with Mad Cam. 6:44:02 p.m. on the 28th.
Karen said, them ain't my damn kids. I need to.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, I'll text Chris then. 6:44 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, we're headed out shortly. What's your plan, Karen? 7:06:13 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, do you want me to join or no? 7:06:37 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, yes, wasn't sure if you were meeting the Currans. 7:07:04 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, they are not out drinking yet. 7:07:40 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, where are you headed? 7:09:22 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, trying to decide maybe McCarthy's. 7:14:48 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay then, let me know where you decide. I'm still down in Enfield. 7:21:50 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, text me when you leave. Still waiting on McKinney's. 7:22:28 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm having issues with my hot water, so had to text someone to take a look. 7:24:11 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, an emoji, you trying to piss me off. 7:25:35 on the 28th.
What?
John O'Keefe to the defendant, hope your plumber buddy that you texted is hot.
Ooh, John, messy.
7:26:24 p.m. on the
Nah,
28th.
we didn't get these. I don't remember these. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, nope, my shower only got lukewarm and now my sink won't run hot at all. The plumber I used to use is right down the road. 7:26:27 p.m. on the 28th.
Dang, this is crazy.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I turned that temp thing in the basement all the way up. 7:26:52 p.m. on the 28th.
She's such a girl.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, check the hot water heater and see if it's leaking. 7:26:52 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, it's not. 7:26:59 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, don't do that. 7:27:01 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, is the pilot lit? 7:27:08 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I was trying to get my shower hot. 7:27:12 p.m. on the 28th.
All day, Cat. Do you hear me? Ain't no way.
The defendant to John O'Keefe, yes. 7:27:14 p.m. on the 28th.
Maybe, Kay.
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, don't turn it up. Don't turn it all the way up. 7:27:26 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, it will burn out. 7:27:32 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I had this issue twice before and it wasn't a disaster. I just can't remember what the cause was. 7:27:41 on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, just turn it back to where it was and get over here. 7:28:08 p.m. on the 28th.
But he was trying to leave her.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't want to come home in a blizzard and then really be up
Oh,
shit creek.
I'm sick.
7:28:53 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, so you're going home tonight? 7:29:18 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, or tomorrow or whenever. I've had a chill all day since my shower. 7:29:45 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, it's going to snow all day tomorrow, no driving. 7:30:05 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, we're headed to McCarthy's. 7:41:29 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, let me know if you end up leaving. 7:41:57 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, why? Now you're not coming? 7:42:27 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'm waiting for the plumber. I actually think he's in the driveway. 7:42:56 p.m. on the 28th.
I remember this.
From John O'Keefe to the defendant, we're taking Mike's car, so I'm relying on you for a ride home if he leaves. 7:43:10 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe,
Who up in
he's
there?
not going home after. 7:43:27 p.m. on the 28th.
Yep.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, 8 o'clock on a Friday, emoji. 7:43:31 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, he may have to get Michael. 7:43:46 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, you have a plumber coming over at 8. Knowing me and Papa could have handled it. Good luck. 7:44:36 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I have always told you I will not put either of you out of your way the way everyone else in your life does. I knew it wasn't working right when you were at the doctor's with Kaylee, and I knew neither of you could get here. And this guy, Richie, fixed it the last time, whatever it was. He was supposed to be here at 5, 7:48:01 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, if it's not a quick fix, I'll tell him to forget it. 7:48:20 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, If you need a new water heater, don't let him do it. 7:55:04 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant text is from the defendant to John O'Keefe. He's here now. If it's not quick, I'm not doing it. I just want to make sure nothing is wrong / will go wrong with when I'm not home. 7:55:44 on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, he's not a scammer. Half the quick stuff he doesn't even charge me for. 7:56:06 p.m. on the 28th. The defendant to John O'Keefe, he just put the toilet seats on crooked. 7:56:28 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, status, 8:09:02 p.m. on the 28th.
But he didn't want to be with her. He checking in.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, still here with an emoji, 8:09:18 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, said he's got to go to HD and probably be back mañana, 8:23:56 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, so 8:24:43 p.m. on the 28th.
John would have to get clocked, baby.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, an emoji, 8:25:02 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, just trying to figure out if I need to be here, 8:25:51 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, what does it need, 8:26:01 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I don't know. He showed me some pieces that was all rusted with an emoji. I don't understand half this stuff. 8:26:42 p.m. on the 28th.
Yes.
John O'Keefe to the defendant on the water heater, 8:26:59 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yes, 8:27:08 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, tell him to leave it. I'll take care of it Sunday or Monday, 8:28:30 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, no, it's okay. I can either meet him here or just shut off the alarm, 8:28:52 p.m.
Oh,
on the
Karen,
28th.
let the man be a man.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, he used to work here while I was at work, 8:29:02 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, does he realize it will be whiteout conditions tomorrow a.m., 8:29:32 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, yeah, but he lives right down the road, 8:29:47 p.m.
Yep,
on the
here.
28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, Karen, the storm is going to be intense. Can't drive. 8:30:19 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, okay, well, if he can't, he can't. 8:30:36 p.m. on the 28th. John O'Keefe to the defendant, I'll do it Monday. 8:30:56 p.m. on the 28th.
Hey, this was a bad idea.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I better not still have this problem on Monday. 8:31:22 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant, you plan on being there. 8:31:43 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'd to know I can take a hot shower there here if I need to. 8:32:14 p.m. on the 28th. Figured you'd be, from John O'Keefe to the defendant, figured you'd be in Canton until Monday, 8:32:32 p.m. on the 28th. From John O'Keefe to the defendant,
Hey,
I'm getting off my phone. Let me know what you're doing, 8:32:54 p.m. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I think the four of us together is toxic to this relationship. We'd like to limit it. 8:33:16 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, you said so yourself for probably a year now. 8:33:52 p.m.
move
on
on,
the 28th.
baby.
John O'Keefe to the defendant, blizzard tomorrow. Nobody is going anywhere. 8:33:56 p.m. on the 28th.
Me right there.
From the defendant to John O'Keefe, maybe I'll come back late tonight. Bad snow is in the early a.m. 8:35:14 p.m. on the 28th. From the defendant to John O'Keefe, I'll head up there in a few min. Let me know if you leave. 8:35, 26 p.m. on the 28th.
Black sheep.
John O'Keefe to the defendant,
Go.
an emoji, he says sure. 8:35, 34 p.m.
Let it
on the
go.
28th. That was the last of them.
He wasn't doing it. Let it go. I know Garino pissed.
We're almost done, sir.
And you can feel free to stand.
Thank you, Honor.
So that presentation is a compilation of text messages and phone
It's not
calls
helping
between John O'Keefe and the defendant on January 28, 2022.
Yes, that was.
Aside from that compilation, are there other text messages and phone calls that you've reviewed between John O'Keefe and the defendant that evening, January 28, 2002, going into past midnight, January 29, 2022?
Yes, there's more text messages.
And those text messages and phone calls, are they a separate compilation from this?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, this time I'd ask us to release Trooper Garino and recall him at a later date.
Yes. All right. There's no objection, Mr. Alessi, correct?
Don't hit.
objection, subject to revenge.
Yes.
What is
All right.
doing?
Thank you very much, Trooper. We'll see you another time.
Thank you, Honor.
Don't do this right now. I don't like this.
Is this the time for me to see counsel at sidebar? Okay.
If it's your honor, may I?
Yes.
Your honor, I'm going to
Hey,
introduce
do it right
exhibit
now.
clips 7 through 11.
Y'all, this is ignorant. I'm sorry. I don't know what his plan is, but he is losing. I can't follow. Why is he having Garino come in and out like this? He
With
just
the court's permission, could I begin with clip 7?
Yes.
When you walked out of the bar, how many drinks had you had?
I had probably about 4, and not 4 that I completed either. I didn't drink maybe more than a few sips at the waterfall.
And 4 drinks you felt fine to drive?
Yep.
Clip 8, please.
Okay.
And is the level of intoxication pretty high here for everybody?
It's happy.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause you'd had a lot to drink, right?
I wouldn't say I'd have like a normal amount. Let's say like a vodka tonic every 40 minutes.
Okay. And so are you feeling like buzzed? And I'm not judging, I'm just trying to get a
Yeah,
sense.
buzzed.
Yeah.
Clip 9, please.
y'all, this is ignorant. I don't know who told him to go about it this way, but this is just not it for me. Well, I don't know what's going on.
The final count of my alcohol intakes, probably about 5 or 6 or 4. The drinks that they were pouring me at McCarthy's, which is where I consumed most of the alcohol, was the weakest vodka tonic. It tasted just like old soda water with lime. Not that I need it to be a martini, but it might have had a splash of vodka in it. So I said, John, this drink tastes like it has no vodka in it. He said, just get a shot and mix it yourself. So each drink was being counted as a double. So I would get a vodka tonic and then I would pour a shot into it. So that would count as 2. But frankly, it just felt like a regular cocktail. It was just a really weak pour. So I asked for a shot. So for my taste, it just tasted like that's the normal strength of what a drink should be. So I had maybe 2 or 3 that are being counted as 4 and 6. And I don't know.
Okay, stupid.
I felt
Stupid.
I felt like I was buzzed. And then there was one drink, the last one that was given to me, which I would have counted as 3, but they're counting as a 6 cocktail. The guys that we were with brought around the shots, and they gave me one that I didn't drink, but I poured it in my drink. So that's now my 5th and 6th drinks with the 7th, which is a shot that all the men did, and I poured it. So that one glass that I'm holding, that I go into the waterfall with, has 3 drinks in it, a vodka tonic and 2 shots. And which is why John said to me, you're not leaving that drink here, like you haven't touched it and just poured a bunch of vodka. He's like, just take it with you, which was something he always did. So then I go into waterfall and I put that drink down and I socialize most of the time. So that would have been my 5th, 6th, and 7th drinks. Then John orders me a drink at the waterfall that I don't drink, that he takes with him. And then there was a round of shots that Chris Howard bought that I did take. So that would have been the night. But I did not consume 9 vodka
I like this shit, at least
or
clearing
take
it up.
9 shots, depending on how you count it. And the last 2 drinks I didn't touch.
Clip 10, please.
I mean, I'm not as clear as I would be if I hadn't been drinking. I mean, I had drank, so, and that led me to question, like, could I have hit him? Did I run over his foot or hit him in the knee? Did I incapacitate him? I mean, I always drive with my music blasting ever since I was 16. And I know when John got out of the car to go into Fairview, I know my car was blasting because when I got in it the next morning to go look for him, I had to immediately turn it down. And I don't know, it's stormy. I have had a few cocktails. I didn't black out, but I wasn't as lucid as I would have been if I had gone to bed at 9 and drank a tea.
Black
But
sheep.
so I was fuzzier than I would have been if I had had no alcohol.
We know this.
Clip 11, please.
We know this though. Damn, it's more.
I wouldn't have gotten on the expressway. I wouldn't have gotten on the expressway at 12:15 on January 29th. I mean, it was quiet. The roads were very quiet. You can see it on the videos. And I was going, you know, when I've had a few drinks and I drive, I always drive extra slow. So I know my alerts aren't as sharp as they should be. But I shouldn't have been driving. But I don't think I was driving. I know I wasn't driving recklessly. I mean, I've got plenty of video of myself driving all over the place. I put my car in John's garage, which is incredibly narrow, and I had a very oversized SUV. You see me. There's a video of me driving through the intersection when we leave Waterfall to go to Brian Albert's, and I was always taught by my father, even when you have a green light, you always should tap the brake. You don't know who's going to run red. And I see me doing that multiple times between 12 and 1 and 5 and 6 a.m. So I know I was driving safely, not as safely or as alert as I would be if I had no alcohol. But I was not driving recklessly by any measure.
Thank you. John, may we approach?
Yes.
So that lady, y'all, there's a lady who ran a red light in California. Baby, she scared me so bad. I stop before I go green because you do not know who's going to run a red light. Karen is not lying. I also don't believe she was driving reckless. All those videos, it wasn't like she was swerving or anything like that. So maybe she was buzzed, but she was not drunk. I don't see a problem with what she said. I don't see a problem with what she said. In fact, so Tasha said this earlier. I think you guys saw me pin Tasha's comment. Tasha said, well, Mel, I don't think this is bad because we don't get to hear her testify. So this is her testifying without testifying. So we'll see what the jury says, how they feel about things after trial is over. But I will say I'm happy she explained those drinks because the way the state did it last trial, it did seem like
Jurors, there was some confusion with counsel regarding witnesses. So those are the witnesses for today. So we're done for today. Counsel assures me that won't happen again. But more importantly, we're on track. We're on schedule, not going for the rest of the day. Won't interfere with our schedule at all. It looks like it's can't tell with all the curtains here, but it looks like it's a beautiful day. You'll have a nice afternoon. Tomorrow we'll be going on a view. So for that, wear comfortable clothes. We'll be walking around a little bit. We'll be going by bus, and I'll have more instructions for you tomorrow morning. But please
Hey,
follow
I'm
those
gonna get my baby
instructions.
today.
Do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into this case. If you happen to see, hear, read anything about this case, please disregard it and let us know. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Remember, tomorrow's a hot day.
All rise for the court, please. Close your notebooks and follow me.
Maybe I might go leave it. I might go get my baby today. Tomorrow's a half day. I might switch my room car and go get my child today. I was not expecting this. Listen, Key. Paige would have told, hey, Key, Paige would have told them, you better go find a witness. We're going to give you 30 minutes. Somebody better be able to get down here. Tomorrow is early. I know I won't be on tomorrow, but Miss J will be on. They are done. Yes, I just text you. They are done for the day. What the hell? And tomorrow will be a lot of dead time. Tomorrow I won't be on tomorrow. I'm actually trying to see if I could change my rental car till today because, baby, it's 6 hours. I could go ahead and leave about 2. I could leave about 2, go ahead, go to Jackson, and then, baby, get that girl moved and be back here. Okay. Child. I just can't believe that. Baby, I think I'm finna switch some shit around, y'all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave today. I can't believe that I expected us to be on at least until 4. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. Because I can go ahead and go get my child. I can go ahead and go get my child and come on right back. Girl, Montrese, I'm about to see. I got let me ask her what she wanna do. This is craziness. Girl, y'all, this is craziness. Baby, I'm trying to see now if they'll let me swap, but y'all know I have to get a van pretty, so I hope they're able to hope they're able to swap it for me, because in order to move all of Mariah's things, I have to get a van, because she just told me she has more stuff than she had when we went to school. She has way more. I'm trying to see if I can get a video so y'all can see this room. She says she has more stuff this go around. When did we go? We moved her in 23. Child, hold up. January 3rd. When did my child leave? No, she left in 24. Jasmine. So she said, well, Mom, you know, she's had like several Shein cards since she's been at school. And you know, Shein, they buy a whole lot of stuff. When did my baby leave? Okay, here we go. I was trying to show y'all this room because it was full. Like, this was her room with nothing in it. This is all the stuff we took to college. Just for one child. We took all of this stuff to school. And everything, I think y'all saw her dorm. But she has all this stuff on her desk. Oh, I see you, Yates, now. She has all of this stuff. Hold up, y'all. They said they're not done over here. Let me play. Hold up, Yates. Let me see what they're talking about. Well, Lauren Crime just got them coming out. I don't want to see that. I don't care to see that. She does. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm so happy she has a storage just for her school stuff, so we can put her stuff in storage once we come back. But yeah, all this stuff. Yates, Yates, I already know you cursing.
I'm so fucking mad. I was supposed to have something to fucking watch while I'm here at the office. What am I gonna do now?
Go back and watch testimony you didn't watch. Remember, I think you said you started with openings. So go watch Carrie so that we can talk about it. Because if I don't leave, we can talk about it later tonight. But I'm trying to swap my rental car because I could just go ahead and go now.
I'm so mad.
I knew it when I saw them in the court. I thought about you and Doug as soon as she said we're going to end for the day.
Like, what the fuck? It is 11:55.
I thought she was coming back to say we're going to lunch, not that we're going to end court for the day.
Like, who the fuck does that? It's 11:50, and I'm telling you, if I was a juror, I would be livid.
Ronnie, I got to see if they're gonna let me swap my rental car now because I think this is perfect. If I can leave about 2:00, get to Jackson about 8, 9, I'll go stay at my sister's house. Baby, we get up early in the morning, be back on the road. Yeah.
How far is the drive?
It's 6 hours. 6 hours. And the good thing is I don't have to take Barchi with me, so I won't be fighting. Well, Barchi's really not bad if it's me and her. She's not terrible, but I'm doing it online right now, trying to see if they're going to have the van. I probably need to call them because I need to see if they're going to have the van. I have to have a van. It can't be a car. It has to be a van. When I tell you, it's a lot of stuff. And if it's not a van, this was the van last time we went. Like, it was packed to the ceiling. She has her lash stuff. She has so much stuff. So yeah, it has to be a van.
And I just want to tell you, I'm sweating like a whore in church because my office feels like the pits of hell.
A whore in church
It's so
crazy.
hot.
Oh, Lizzie, yes, they are. Barchi is an angel baby that would never do anything wrong. Catherine. Miss Cherie, you're going to send Barchi right back. Catherine, that's so sweet of you to say. And if I was the type of parent that would let people lie when it comes to my children, I'd let you have that one. But Barchi is not an angel baby. She is no one's angel. And oh yes, Monday Arca will be there. Okay. I knew, but Yates, I knew you were going to go crazy as soon as they stopped church. I mean, not church, Lord. It's somebody. I'm reading the word church. As soon as they stopped court, I knew you were going to go crazy.
Because why? One, why do you not have witnesses prepared for an entire day?
For an entire day. I wonder what did he get switched up? And she's saying, counsel, say who it is. The Commonwealth. It's their case in chief. It's them. Jasmine said, Bam, the messed up my whole day for real.
You and me both. She's pissed me off.
Hey, Tia Tennille. I'm actually okay because if I can go ahead get on this road, I'm going to be okay because y'all know I do not like when I have to miss court. And I was already mad at Mariah for asking me to come on a Thursday. I said, girl, you're messing up my flow. Can I come Friday? But Mama might be able to come on Thursday, go get my baby, and be back here tomorrow. And tomorrow's a head day anyway, so I won't be here. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow night, whatever happened.
Tomorrow's a half a day, isn't it?
Tomorrow's a half a day. I gotta tell her they let her out early.
I'm telling you, I would be throwing things in the jury room.
I can't believe it.
Like, I would be throwing things at this point.
She said, I hate that. Now I have to do work. Mariah probably did know something I didn't. She probably knew something I didn't. Listen, I just texted her. I said, hey, they done let court out early. I might be coming today. She talking about perfect. Hey, I know she ready to go. The NFL drafted tonight in Ebony. Y'all know I don't care where I am, baby. I'm turned up for Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter. Cam Silman, Craig, BJ Green. Who else we got? Jimmy Horn Jr., LaJohntay Wester. Baby, I'm gonna be screaming for every last one of them boys. This first round, a lot of them probably gonna be tomorrow or Thursday. Friday or Saturday. But I'm gonna be looking for Shador and Travis. They're gonna be today for sure. I think I missed openings. Go watch the openings today. May, I need you to go watch Carrie so that if I do get on live later, we could talk about Carrie's testimony. Because you got time now. Go watch Carrie.
So what else? What from today?
No, go watch Carrie.
Which was yesterday?
I prefer you to watch Carrie than watch the EMT guy. You probably can get Carrie and the other and not all in though.
Like that's just so odd again. Like, be prepared for. Wow, my shirt's just open to the heavens. It's fine. Be prepared for them to not cross anyone. Be prepared for them to do a very, very short cross. Like, be fucking prepared to have a full day.
Purple Knicks, my boy might go to the Giants, baby. I don't have an NFL team, never have had one. But after today, I know I'll have a few that I'm looking out. But wherever Shador goes, that's definitely my team. That's who I'm always wearing. But I'm going to support the rest of the boys forever. On 2.0 mail for Carrie, yes, I'm asking Yates to watch this so we can talk about it.
Because that was yesterday, correct? Was that yesterday or the day before?
Carrie, she did. Yes, she did yesterday and the day before. She was the very end, I think, of yesterday. The day before.
Okay, so I should watch day 1 and day 2 of Carrie.
Yes, please. And then we can chit chat about it.
Like,
but Forrest said I'll be live streaming. I'll send you the link. Forrest, send it to my X account or my Instagram. And I'll be in your stream. Are you streaming tomorrow, Forrest? Did we see what Thug just tweeted? Let me see. Let's see what Thug just tweeted. Let's see. No, stop. Did he burn the YSL up? Court day is over, Stephanie. I'm waiting on Forrest to tell me. Are you saying you're streaming tomorrow? Mel, I got to get with you on something. Just message me, Miss Cherie. Well, kid, looks like he burning up YSL. They deleted the YSL IG.
So it's not deleted, just all of the posts are gone. So they could have archived them all, but all of the posts are gone.
Okay, but still on there.
That's my understanding. The actual page is there, but all the contents are gone.
Let me see.
Yeah, Brianna, she fucking ended at 11:50.
Yeah, the rebrand. Court over, Brianna.
Stupid.
It's over, baby. It's over. Okay, y'all, I gotta get my life together because I think I'm about to get on the road. So I gotta see.
Did you get a van?
Car. Well, I'm gonna call them. Girl, why would that lady come on like that? Did y'all hear that? Let me let y'all hear what I was like, what the hell is on my YouTube? Hold on, let me show you what came on, y'all. Hold up. Why she come on like this?
Pornographic images on the phone, and 2, that he had performed a factory reset on the phone.
Ruh-roh. I said, what the hell is on my YouTube?
Okay.
Girl, why would she come on that thing like that? Now I know they teach her better than that at school. Why would she come on that thing? That was like, what the hell is going on the screen? Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna see y'all later. If I don't leave, I'll be back on TikTok or something. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I gotta figure out. I gotta try to get to my child because I didn't expect to have this day off. But thank you all. And far as I didn't see your message, but message me on IG or TikTok, not TikTok, on Instagram or X to let me know what you're going to be live streaming, because I saw you say you're going to be live streaming. But thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, Yates. Go watch their testimony so we can chit chat.
I will.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody. See y'all later.